have come to see the New York Jets take on the Colts and their superstar, Eric Dickerson. If all the world's a stage, then a performer's debut can be held anywhere, from the bustling streets of the inner city to the quiet, peaceful streets of small-town America. Case in point, Sealy, Texas. It served as Eric Dickerson's first stage, and though it wasn't a lavish premiere, the performance generated fond memories.
I liked Sealy a lot when I grew up there. It was very small, not a lot to do. Well, I first started playing football when I was about 11 or 12 years old. Not organized football, such as like in high school or junior high. I used to play on the side of Bethel Baptist Church. Me and the guys would get together. We'd always play on Saturdays and Sundays. That was our day to play football.
At Sealy High School, Eric Dickerson took center stage and dominated the spotlight. In his senior year, he rushed for 2,653 yards and led Sealy to a state championship. In that title game, Eric rushed for 311 yards and 4 touchdowns, a starring role that even his boyhood idol would have been proud of.
My hero was O.J. Simpson. On the Saturdays and Sundays, I was O.J., no doubt, because he was my man. And when the Buffalo Bills played, they could lose. If O.J. had a good day, that was good enough for me. He was my hero in the NFL, and for me to break his record was a big honor.
For at least one moment in time, Eric Dickerson shared the stage with no one. He was the greatest. But the LA stage grew old, so Eric took his act to America's heartland and carried the Colts to a division championship. 1989 has been bittersweet. He surpassed the 10,000-yard mark quicker than any back in history, but he has been slowed by injuries. Tonight, he takes center stage, primed to reassert himself as the best in the game.
I like to win, no matter what. I mean, I'm a winner, and I make good money, and I produce.
From the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, it's the 2-8 Jets against the 4-6 Indianapolis Colts. Let's take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Not much clearer after today's action. Buffalo and Miami tied in the East. Cleveland 7-3-1 after the tie today. Denver pending Monday night's game at 8-2. Gets very interesting when you look at the wild card picture, though. Houston at 7-4, Cincinnati at 6-5. Then you drop below 500. Pittsburgh and the Raiders at 5-6. Indianapolis with a win tonight would join that group at only one game under 500 and still in the picture. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann, and it's great to have you with us on ESPN. The Indianapolis Colts need a win tonight in the worst way, and for one of the few times this year, Eric Dickerson is healthy, and he wants the football.
He really does. I talked to Eric. He feels like he's the guy that can make this thing happen. They've tried to go to a more balanced attack on offense, throwing a little bit more, running a little bit. That's not going to cut it. Eric Dickerson is here to run the football. The Indianapolis Colts will win if Eric Dickerson has a good night.
In each of the last 4 years, the Colts have lost their starting quarterback within the first month of the season. This year's no different.
It really hasn't, and Jack Trudeau's been there a couple times himself, but he's back tonight. Trudeau is the kind of a football player who has to take a look at things. Last week, he took the week off. He stood on the sidelines. He had a chance to take a look at the field from a different perspective. In talking to him, he says, I have to assume a leadership role on this football team. So tonight, it's really going to fall on his shoulders to play well. This is a very important football game for Jack Trudeau.
The Jets have not been healthy all year. They still aren't, but at least it's getting better.
It is getting better. Al Toon is going to play. Wesley Walker might play. Matter of fact, we will see him. They tested him on the field before the game. He's active and will play. But on offense here, without Al Toon, for 15 practices of the entire year, including training camp, a big part of their weaponry on offense. You've got Wesley Walker in and out. Mickey Schuler's gone for the season. Ken O'Brien has been sporadic, but in talking to Joe Walton, he's playing much better the last 3 games.
Now, the Jets know what they have to do on defense to win tonight. That's sell out to the run and stop one Eric Dickerson.
That's exactly right. You know, you talk to Eric McMillan, who's probably the best free safety in football. He loves the opportunity to go out and direct that defense from his free safety position. Tonight, what you're going to see the Jets do is they're going to commit to the blitz. They know they have to stop Eric Dickerson if they're going to win this football game. It's going to put a lot of pressure on those young secondary guys to make big plays.
Joe Walton on the sideline, of course, under pressure. He came into the year as the only winning coach in Jets history at 52, 55-1, his current record. Ron Meyer also under pressure for the Indianapolis Colts in his 7th season, an 18-16 record with the Patriots, 25-18 here in Indianapolis. Pat Leahy will kick it off. James Pruitt and Clarence Verdun are deep to receive for the Colts. Pruitt, 86, Verdun, 83. And they want to make sure the Jets can't kick it away from the guy they want to have the football. And Pruitt, who fumbled the opening kickoff a week ago from the goal line. Nice return across the 20, fumbled it again. And as opposed to last week, Pruitt's fumble does not cost them possession.
Pruitt running into the same problem he had last week, just unloading the football. Now, it was cold outside last week. No excuse here. He does a pretty good job protecting it. Now, as he tries for the extra yardage, it just comes flying out.
He was drilled by Leander Knight, who caught him from the blind side, and Pruitt limping off the field. Brian Baldinger made the recovery. So the Colts will start from their own 23-yard line. We'll set the offensive lineups and defensive lineups for you in just a moment. And early movement. Looked like a mix-up between the center Ray Donaldson and Jack Trudeau, the quarterback. And Trudeau historically has had trouble with the center snap. This is Jerry Seaman, the referee.
Number 53 offense, still first down.
You know, I really believe when your football team is struggling, you have to come out, go on a simple, quick count, give the ball to Eric Dickerson, and let's see what's going to happen. You know, you start thinking too much and making adjustments, you create holes for yourself like they did.
I mean, Donaldson's been to 3 straight Pro Bowls, one of the best centers in the game. So it's 1st and 15. Dickerson, the lone setback, and he goes in motion. Trudeau bobbled the snap there. Guns over the middle and through behind his intended receiver, Andre Rison. Humphrey on the coverage, and listen to the Boo Birds. Jack Trudeau starts after missing a week with a broken finger. He's 3-3 as a starter in place of the injured Chris Chandler. Dickerson has had problems with a hamstring. He missed a game 2 weeks ago, the first of his career, and has had more fumbling problems, but he's still number 4 in the NFL in rushing. The offensive line is an excellent unit. Left tackle Chris Hinton has been to 6 straight Pro Bowls. He is simply one of the greatest who has ever played this game on the offensive line. 2nd and 15. Brooks was the man in motion. They give it to Dickerson. Following Hinton, nice block. 25, 29-yard line, cut down by Eric McMillan, the Pro Bowl safety. The Jets defense dead last in the league. 11-year veteran Marty Lyon still plays the run well, but the pass rush up front is virtually invisible. The linebacking is average, but controversial top-round draft choice Jeff Lageman is improving. His development severely hampered by a contract holdout. The secondary has been burned to a crisp this year. The entire defense has only 10 interceptions. Pro Bowler Eric McMillan continues to star. He has 5 of those 10.
And this is where Jack Trudeau has got to shine. Last week, and you look at the 3rd down conversions for the Colts, it has not been good. He's got to make a play for his football team.
Albert Bentley comes into the offensive backfield, and the Jets change their entire defensive line on a passing situation. Trudeau with time, throws complete to Bill Brooks. Midfield and more. Still on his feet, tried to lateral the ball, thought better of it. McMillan took him out of bounds with help from Leander Knight. Good throw by Trudeau.
Well, this is what happens when you have to commit secondary people to man-to-man coverage. You see the linebackers running out covering Dickerson. Billy Brooks just comes right across the middle. It's a very difficult thing to do when you have to cover one-on-one. And that's what happens. He manages to pick up big yardage.
28-yard gain, and Bill Brooks, 9th in the conference in yardage, picks up 28 that time. His best career game has come against the New York Jets. Trudeau on first down. Plenty of time again. Brooks has it in front of Hasty. Out of bounds to 31. It will be another first down. 36 catches for Bill Brooks. He has 4.5 speed, and Hasty had to give him some room.
Well, this is, like I said, this is a very big football game for Jack Trudeau. He's got to find himself. You know, you get displaced as the starter in the beginning of the year. It's Chris Chandler's football team. Now, you can't worry about Chris Chandler anymore. It's the guy on the field that's got to make it happen, and Trudeau looks like he's risen himself to the occasion.
1st and 10, Colts on the march, opening possession, first quarter. Dickerson dances into the hole, cuts back. He's brilliant at it down to the 28-yard line. Marty Lyons on the tackle, along with George Radachowski, who comes up from the safety.
There's Eric's numbers. Still a perennial All-Pro. He's most dangerous, because he's so deep in the eye, is when he starts his flow one way and starts to cut back against the grain. That's where Eric Dickerson makes most of his yardage.
And this is what the Colts have done in their 10 previous games. Only one score on their opening possession. Not very good. 2nd and 6. Trudeau again with time. The Jets pass rush has been miserable, and Dickerson drops it. He has never been the most sure-handed pass receiver. That one, he just turned around and wanted to run before he had it.
Well, when he saw it, he saw absolutely nobody in front of him. There's Ron Meyer. He's looking at the whole thing. Trudeau does an excellent job. He sees his receivers downfield covered. Lyons gets in his face. Now, Dickerson, see how he turns his head? There's nobody there. He's going to run in for a touchdown from 30 yards away, and he knows it.
And the Colts fans are out of patience.
Yeah.
Anything that goes wrong, they are right on top of this club.
That's it. They've never been booed in here, so this is a new experience for that football team.
And it's one they're not going to like either. 3rd and 6. Jets show blitz and come. Trudeau with time and overthrows. Risen out there, but covered well by Bobby Humphrey. And Trudeau paid the price.
This is the pass rush defense. You see McMillan come up. Dickerson does a good job picking him up, but that's Bird. That's one in the face for Jack Trudeau. That's why they put face masks on. Make sure your nose doesn't go flat to your face.
Biasucci comes on. He'll try a 45-yard field goal. It's an outstanding year. Ron Stark, the punter, is his holder. He has only missed from 48, 49, 50, and 52. Plenty of distance. And Dean Biasucci, with his 15th field goal of the year, puts the Indianapolis Colts on top of the Jets, 3-0.
And so there, these swiftly flowing currents create energy, which in turn creates power, which in turn brings electric light to every house in the valley.
That's very impressive, Calvin. Thank you, sir. But the contract calls for bringing Bud Light to the valley.
No wonder we're over budget.
For clean, fresh taste, one light outshines them all.
Which in turn keeps the Bud Light cold.
Because everything else is just a light. Delta Airlines flight attendant Irene Lockwoody loves to fly.
Are you still here?
My son was supposed to meet me.
Well, I'll wait with you.
That kid is always late.
What she loves most are the people she meets.
He must have gotten caught in the rain.
He was even born late.
Joey!
Ma.
Irene is what Delta's all about.
Irene,
Yes?
are you married?
Yep. 2 kids.
Late again, Joey.
We love to fly and it shows.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. By Bud Light, everything else is just a light. And by Delta Airlines, we love to fly, and it shows. For only the second time this year, the Indianapolis Colts have scored on their first possession, and they lead the New York Jets 3-0, courtesy of Dean Biasucci's 45-yard field goal. And now Biasucci will kick off for the Colts. We understand that Pruitt has a sprained right ankle and may not return tonight. May not want to after the reception he got on the fumble.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2 in the last 2 games.
Bobby Humphrey and JoJo Townsell deep for the Jets. Humphrey, 4 yards deep, he'll bring it out. Has the seam. Brought down at the 23, and a late flag comes down. Thrown about 10 yards behind where the ball carrier was, and when you're losing, this is the kind of thing that happens to you. You get a 30-yard return and it comes back.
It's frustrating. What happens is you've got frustrated athletes on the field. Everybody's trying to do a little bit more to help the football team win.
Holding. Number 77 receiving team during the return. First down.
Gerald Nichols, a defensive lineman, caught holding.
There's Joe Walton, a man who's received an awful lot of heat in New York, and it has not been a pleasant year for Coach Walton and the Jets.
New York starts at its own 13. Hector and Vick, the split backs. Johnny Hector with the first carry. Slipped 1 tackle, got out to the 17-yard line. Ken O'Brien brings the Jets in number 1 in the conference in yards passing and completions, but he has 13 interceptions. That's the second highest total of his career. The Jets' best pass receivers have all been injured. Pro Bowler Al Toon has missed 4 and been slowed in others, but they have had to throw behind an offensive line that has allowed a whopping 39 sacks and hasn't opened a lot of holes for the running game. Center Jim Sweeney, with all-pro potential, is the best man they have up front. 2nd and 5. O'Brien, a little half roll, check down to Hector, couldn't hold it. Chip Banks was almost in a position to pick that overthrow off.
This is one where they move the quarterback. Now watch, O'Brien's going to move to left. This is called a waggle in the terminology. He looks downfield, the receivers aren't open. Now Hector's on what's called a check down. He just checks into an open area. The problem that O'Brien has is he can't see him because of the rush of Donnell Thompson on that side.
3rd and 5. Ezra Johnson and Sam Clancy, 90 and 76 respectively, check in. You thought the Colts were bad? They're second in the league. The Jets have not scored at all on their opening possession this year. Delay, Hector. And the Jets, barring a miracle, are not going to score on their opening possession. They're up close to the 23-yard line. John Hand made the tackle. 4th-year defensive end, and a good one. They will measure for the first down.
Real close. They've got to get over the 23-yard line. If this one makes it, it's going to make it by the nose, and that's about it. There it is.
And that normally doesn't happen when you're losing games.
I was just going to say, this could be an indication that fortunes may have turned for the Jets because they finally made one.
JoJo Townsell checking with Joe Walton. And we'll check the Colts defense. They've been burned lately, and they're not as aggressive as they were earlier this year. Still number 2 in the conference in sacks. Donnell Thompson, his 9th year as a starter, has 4 of them. The linebacking core loaded with Pro Bowlers. Dwayne Pickett, a complete player with tremendous talent. Excellent against the run and even better in pass coverage. The Colts missing both starting corners. They're woefully short of experience in the secondary because of it. Back to live action, and Hector with the carry. Gets it out around the 25-yard line. The Jets have not run the ball much this year because of their injuries, and Joe Walton is a coach who likes to have a balanced offense. He hasn't been able to get it.
Most coaches, Joe, I played for Joe Walton, I played for Joe Gibbs. They have the same philosophy. They're 60 to 65% run-oriented. They throw the ball when the opportunity is there. You're expected to make third down in 4s, 5s, and 6s. That's the quarterback's responsibility. He has not had that kind of success running, so he can't get into 3rd and 4.
2nd and 7. Freeman McNeil will check out of the ball game. No, he comes out as a wide receiver outside of Altoon to the near side. O'Brien, a little swing. Hector, blockers in front. Nice effort by Johnny Hector. Dives up to the 38-yard line, a gain of 11.
Johnny Hector
starting his 4th game this year.
Yeah, he's only had 20 receptions, but it's been 9.8. So he's the kind of guy that is going to take the swing out, pick up a first down for you. Nothing spectacular. Of course, Freeman McNeil's been in and out. Their backs just really haven't performed much. 30 receptions for McNeil, 20 for Johnny Hector, 18 for Roger Vick. They spread it around a lot.
Walker and Toon are the wideouts. That's going to be a great feeling for Ken O'Brien. He hasn't seen that this year. First time they played together. Quick out too high for Walker, who really gets stuck in the back by John Baylor. Baylor and Plummer, the starting corners, because of injuries.
Ken O'Brien audibles on this play, and I'll tell you what the quarterback is looking at in this situation. See how the corner's off and this corner's off? This safety is up. That means that these guys have this third of the field, and the center fielder's got that. He's just trying to run a quick hitch out to the outside to Altoon and makes a bad throw. That was an audible. He had exactly what he wanted. It was supposed to pick up 5-6 yards on first down. It was not executed well.
And unusual for O'Brien, who's always been one of the most accurate passers in the league. 2nd and 10, delay to Hector, room to run. And all at once the room disappears. Jeff Herrod, the leading tackler, brings them down. Herrod, the only starting linebacker on this group who has not been to the Pro Bowl, but the way he's playing, he'll get there one of these days.
He's a self-made man, Mike. Here's a guy who really, as an inside linebacker, they talk in speeds in the National Football League in 40-yard dashes. At the beginning or the end of last year, he was clocked at 4.9. Worked out all through the offseason, knocked 0.2 of a second off. He's a 4.7 inside linebacker. To take 1/10 of a second off is tremendous. To take 2 is incredible. Also, he only bench presses 460. Me, you, and the building.
The Jets, 27th in the league. They were woeful last week against Miami, only 1 of 11. 3rd and 7 here. O'Brien battling the noise. Has good protection, throws to Toon, bobbled it, but brought it down at midfield. That'll be a first down on a gain of 13. Bruce Plummer was there, but too late.
We talked about the Colts having their trouble. They've lost Good, they've lost Daniels, as their corners. Here he is against Plummer. You got to give a guy this size with that speed respect. He almost lets that one get away from him. Very important catch. Always try and get your star receiver the ball early in a game so that he can get his confidence up. He takes a few shots and relaxes.
It's only the 25th catch of the year for Al Toon. Another Pro Bowler. Mickey Schuler only played a little bit before he was hurt. He's on injured reserve. Swing to McNeil. Nice move by Freeman McNeil. First down and more to the 37-yard line. And right now, the New York Jets have most of their guns on offense, and you can see the difference it makes. But McNeil comes up limping.
It's the same problem he's had. He's got the knee. It's been a problem for him. And now he makes a move. And Freeman McNeil does not run. He gallops. He's a galloper. He gets outside. And here, watch the gallop move. Here, let's change the gait, slide the knee by. And you see, he just gallops, gets down low, but again, takes a shot and winds up limping off.
1st and 10. Jets. Johnny Hector checks into the backfield. Hector, huge hole up the middle. Couldn't slip the last tackle, got down to the 25. Gain of 11. Mike Pryor, the free safety, saved a touchdown.
This is the weakness of the Colts right here. The inside linebackers, this area right here, they're not real big. And so therefore, the Jets feel like they can take that big offensive line of theirs and pound it out. I mean, when you look at the offensive line, 290, 280, 280 up the middle, 274. I mean, you got some big, big men moving people up the middle.
A.B. Brown, the rookie out of West Virginia, comes into the backfield, and he will come wide left for New York. Colts on a blitz. O'Brien still has time and throws the bomb for Brown too far. Bruce Plummer on the coverage.
Well, they were expecting a zone defense. I talked to some of the coaches around the league, defensive coaches in particular, as well as offensive coaches. Actually, I talked to a lot of coaches, Mike.
Talk to everybody.
I try and call them. The biggest change that they've seen in the 80s is in the red area, the 20-yard area. Most teams used to line up and play man-to-man, and that was a pass pattern designed against man-to-man coverage. Now what you're seeing a lot of is zone coverages in the red area by defenses.
12th play of this drive that's taken more than 6 minutes, 2nd and 10. O'Brien with all day to find a receiver, and look who he found, Chip Banks. Banks brought down at the 25-yard line. A return of 10 for the former Pro Bowler with the Browns and the San Diego Chargers. And O'Brien working on a career-high interceptions. That was 14 for the season.
Cardinal mistake for a quarterback. Never try and hit a crossing pattern late, because what happens is Banks is going to sit there and drop back and watch O'Brien's eyes. And as soon as he sees him turn, he'll make the play on the ball. See him watch the quarterback, see him drift back into the middle. Stop it right there. We'll show you right there. See that? Right up in that area. He makes the interception.
So the Jets fail to score after an impressive drive, and it's still 3-0 Colts.
You can teach your kids the fun of football from the right techniques to the right attitude with the help of a great coach and ESPN Home Video. Michigan football coach Bo Schembechler teaches safe and fun basics of football, from offense to defense and practice drills. A free phone call gets you started.
Are we ready, men? Good. All right. Now set your feet, Step in and drive. Hey, that was good.
Teaching Kids Football is just one of the many Teaching Kids videos available from ESPN, all featuring proven methods from famous coaches. To order Teaching Kids Football for just $29.95, call 1-800-841-8900. Ask the operator about our other Teaching Kids videos and save $5 when you order 2. You'll also receive a free ESPN Home Video catalog. Teaching Kids Sports is child's play with ESPN Home Video.
Hey, Roy, they're really getting ready now. Hank, they're looking unbeatable. Well, remember, they still put their pants on one leg at a time. They got some amazing kids down there. We should see some terrific pattern and great coverage.
Man, can they dish it out.
Yep, time for them to suck it up.
While keeping one eye on the clock.
Oh, yeah, things will be heating up.
When you're talking football, you're talking Team NFL merchandise. Look for our label at fine stores near you.
We could be looking at a tie.
Now, this guy was here before the Colts were.
Yeah. They built a stadium around him.
3-0 Indianapolis.
They put all those other seats around him here.
Banks' interception gives the Colts the ball back at their own 25. Dickerson and Bentley in the same backfield. Bentley on the delay. Should have delayed it a little longer. Benson was the first guy in, cracking through the line of scrimmage, and then Paul Fraze helped out. Ken O'Brien on the sideline. Long drive that came up with nothing, Joe.
Well, he just held the ball too long, and there's Chip Banks. He just watched his eyes. You never want to throw anywhere on the field. If you're at the quarterback position, you never want to make a decision to throw any kind of an in pattern late across the field, because now they've got these 34 defenses, and a linebacker always pops up where you don't want him.
2nd and 13. Colts go with 3 wide receivers, and Dickerson is set back. Plenty of time for Trudeau. Completes it to Andre Rison. Guy's got all sorts of moves, dancing toward the sticks. James Hasty shoved him out of bounds after a game of 11. Rison has really come on in the last 3 or 4 ball games as they have thrown more to them, and he's an exciting player.
He will be an all-pro someday. You know, in the not-too-distant future. He has all the tools. You see his numbers. He's got everything you need. But Jack Trudeau is starting to play. Now, you see his left hand. He has a glove on it to protect a broken pinky that has 3 pins in on his left hand. And some of the problems you may see with snaps tonight, that's the reason why.
It's 3rd and 1. 7 of 8 times in that situation this year, they have gone to Dickerson to try to get it. Make it 8 of 9. And second effort gets him across to 35 for the first down. Mercereau and Fraze on the tackle for the Jets. Dickerson leads all NFL running backs and everyone except quarterbacks with fumbles. He has 7. It has been a problem throughout his career, but he gives you so much. You wonder, you know, where that 50-50 break-even point is.
The other thing you got to remember is last week was the first week he's missed because of injuries in his entire career. That's a lot of hits for a guy.
1st and 10. Dickerson, they messed up the handoff. Dickerson ducks under Paul Fraze and got a couple.
See, Trudeau, we saw exactly the problem you run into. Trudeau has got a glove and just a big bandage on his pinky, on his left hand. When he tries to make the handoff here, he's got to use his left hand because Dickerson is coming from the right. Now, he can't grip the ball. First of all, the guard hits it, which makes it more difficult. Now he comes out and he tries to hand on the ball. Eric does everything he can to hold on. That was Ben Utt that ran into it.
Good job by Trudeau to get it back.
It really is. That ball was really knocked totally out of his hands.
Dickerson so far, 4 carries, 19 yards. Colts have a 2nd and 8 at their own 37. Jets put on some pressure. Trudeau just got rid of it and completed it to Bill Brooks for a short gain. They'll mark it at the 39-yard line. Right with him, Kyle Clifton, the defensive signal caller, with his 100th tackle of the season. And Alex Gordon was coming hard trying to put on the pressure.
You know, the Colts have had a horrible time on 3rd downs as well. But in their last 3 ball games, they have not had a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. And last week, they had to try and convert 3rd and 6 or more. And percentages are just not in your favor. They're coming up now 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. And that's where you convert the 3rd down.
3rd and 2 in this situation. Fake to Dickerson. Reverse clearance for Dan. Plenty of room. Big gain for Dan, and he had Kevin Call, all 308 pounds, in front of him on the sweep. And now we've got a fight. Harsh words after the play, and it elevated a little bit. Bill Brooks down there, Howard, and Kevin Call. And they're still going at it. Call has a hold of one of the Jets and is not about to let loose.
Well, they call Kevin Call Creature. Now we're finding out why.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some nicknames in that offensive line. Chris Hinton's called the Dancing Bear. Ray Donaldson's the Bulldog. And, of course, Kevin Call is the Creature.
And he had a hold of Marty Lyons.
There's 2 creatures.
Well, what's some speed?
There's a fight between creatures. That one should go in the dinosaur book if that's going to be a fight.
308 pounds leading the running back downfield. And there's Marty Lyons, 11 years, the sole survivor of the sack exchange. Like to play at least another year. He's a good guy. I hope he does play another year. Jerry Seaman trying to sort things out. The ball is spotted at the 30.
You know, you got 2 football teams trying their darndest to dig themselves out of a rut, and that's exactly what happens. See, now no guard hits the ball. He does a nice job of handing off. Nice, good pocket position. And for Dan, of course, he's a kick return guy. So, boom, he's down the field.
Looking for Dan, the size compared to Kevin Call. Dickerson. Excellent play by Fraze. Came from the backside and dragged him down. Second-year man out of Syracuse. Excellent against the run. And so many young players on this Jets club.
Well, they are. They've made the commitment to young. You'll see him lower right side. When the tackle pulls, he hops right in his hip. See how he gets right in the hip of the tackle? Kevin Call, 71. And with Eric Dickerson being 7 yards deep in the backfield, he's not going to be able to, unless he hits it hard up the field, he's not going to outrun anybody, least of all Paul Fraze.
Loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Clock turning in a rapidly moving first quarter. 2:50 left. It's 3-0 Colts. Ron Stallworth, number 96, the rookie out of Auburn, is checked in on the Jets defensive line. Trudeau with time, throws over the middle and complete to his tight end Mark Boyer. Boyer double teamed by the linebackers and brought down. Kevin MacArthur is there along with Clifton.
Well, this is what you do against a 34. The linebackers drop back into position, and you just have to have the tight end sit down. He knows he's going to get hit. See him how he squinches over? That's a good word, squinch. I used to squinch a lot before I got hit. You know, you could feel defensive ends coming at you. They'd squinch you. But you tuck up, and you know you're going to get hit, and you just want to protect the ball.
Trudeau, 5 out of 8, 66 yards so far. Colts driving again, already leading 3-0. 3rd and 6 here. Inside handoff, Bentley. Broke a tackle, dives forward near the 21-yard line. He had to get just inside the 21 for the first down. Leander Knight made the tackle. The crowd is already cheering go.
I'll tell you something, I would go for it. You know why? Because you got Hinton at 300 at left tackle, Dixon 300, Donaldson at 290, Utt at 295, and Call at 308. Your entire offensive line averages 300 pounds. The defensive line and linebackers average about 260. All it is, it's mano a mano. This is where you find, these are gut checks. A coach loves situations like this because you find out what your team is made of.
What the Colts have done on 4th down this year. Ivy Joe Hunter in front of Dickerson gets the carry. 1st down and more. Down to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. Clifton made another tackle.
Watch the offensive line get off the ball. If the offense gets under the defense, which you see their pads under the Jets' pads, there's going to be movement up front. That's all you need to give a running back an opportunity to make yardage.
Ivy Joe Hunter with an excellent block on Troy Benson. Ball spotted just outside the 15-yard line. 38 seconds to go first quarter.
The Jets have got to blitz here. They've got to come up with a big play, and you can't do it playing zone.
Bentley, the tailback, he'll get the carry. Wrapped up in a hurry, Scott Mercereau, the first man there, and then got some help. The nose man, 280 out of Southern Connecticut. This is some offensive line for the Colts. At left tackle, Chris Hinton. I'll tell you what, the only thing keeping him out of the Hall of Fame is he's still playing.
That's the truth. I mean, he is just an incredible football player. The dancing bear.
A rapid first quarter, and it's 3-0 at the end of the period. The Colts at home on top of the New York Jets. Will be back in a moment.
Mr. Khayyam, I hate shaving.
Doug, try this Remington microscreen. It shaves as close as a blade or your money back. No other shaver makes that promise.
Smooth. Now I know why he bought the company.
The Remington microscreen.
Hey, I was gonna pack that shirt.
With the style that comes through. Picture yourself. Picture yourself.
Maybe I'll just pack you.
Fortune 500's heaviest hitters will leave town on business. They'll be carrying SkyTel's nationwide pages with voicemail, which means they'll get information sooner and help customers faster, which is how the heavy hitters get to be heavy hitters. SkyTel, that great communication system in the sky. For more information, call 1-800-456-all-threes.
The network that brings you Sunday Night NFL gives you another reason to cheer, beginning in 1990. Season-long coverage of Major League Baseball on ESPN.
Major League Baseball coming your way in 1990 on ESPN. Part of the capacity crowd here at Indianapolis. More than 60,000 fans. So far, they're happy. Their club up 3-0 and driving for more at the Jet 14, 2nd and 9. Trudeau with time, almost picked off right in the hands of James Hasty. 90 yards away from a touchdown, and there's a flag down. The Jets have had trouble picking off passes. Will go against the Colts. Hasty has 3, McMillan has 5, the rest of the team has 2.
Well, you know, it always seems to happen, Mike, when your team is struggling, balls go through your hands, you miss things by a little bit. Here, Hasty has a chance, and they get a penalty against him.
Pass interference, number 80 offense, still 2nd down.
Called on Bill Brooks, and now the Jets say they don't want the penalty. They've already marked it off. Let's see what they'll do.
Well, you know, once you tell the ref, that's what he does. You can't go over and change it. Trudeau makes a throw. They got a pick going on the left side. And there's the out pattern, and there's Hasty. That's a catchable ball. You know, but again, defensive backs, they're paid to hit people and cover people, not necessarily catch it. Although you'd like to see it happen every now and then.
2nd and 19 now for the Colts. 3 wide receivers and Dickerson. Dickerson on the delay. Nice defensive play by Marvin Washington, the rookie out of Idaho. Would not let Dickerson get away from him. Raw talent there.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable. Thinking right here, Mike, if you're the Jets, what you do is you tell your secondary people, don't give up the big play. Let them kick the field goal. We're only a touchdown down. We move the ball in the first drive. We're okay. But you guys have to let them settle for 3 or knock them back further out of field goal range. But you can't let them get a first down or a touchdown.
13th play of the drive. 3rd and 15 for Trudeau and the Colts. Four-man rush in time. Over the middle. Incomplete. Bentley couldn't hold it. McMillan was right there to break it up. And Ron Meyer wanted a flag. There is one down at the 14-yard line. McMillan, a superstar in the Jets secondary.
It's going to be pass interference against the New York Jets.
It's a backbreaker on 3rd and 19.
You know, illegal contact, number 20 defense, 1st down.
It's Leander Knight, one of the backup corners.
What happens when you get a young football team, here's a first-year guy. You got to know you can only chuck people in a 5-yard area. And what happens is he's going to hit some late. See him coming in on the right side of your screen. He runs up to tackle him instead of cover him. And why in heaven's name the Colts have got, or the Jets have got the middle of the football field wide open? Absolutely baffles me.
Makes it 1st and 10. The Colts get a new life from the 15. Another opportunity for Dickerson. Dives forward, maybe a yard. Marty Lyons again made the initial contact. Lyons still plays the run very, very well.
Marty with a sack this year, 11 years, #1 draft choice, 1979, out of Alabama. There you see this, where he came from, and what do you? Well, I bet you'd love to be a #1 now instead of 79.
A couple of more zeros on the check.
Just add another 0 or so.
2nd and 8. Bentley behind Hinton. What a crushing block. Hinton buried Benson. Paul Fraze and Lageman on the tackle. Hinton is a killer, 300 pounds, and he can run.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about it. I mean, if he's 300 pounds, he's standing to left tackle, number 75. There they go. It's almost like the old counter tray, counter outside play. Bentley just hops in his hip pocket. We saw Fraze jump in Call's hip pocket to make a defensive play. Smart little running back just hops in. See, lets him take him out and cuts up inside.
3rd down, 4 yards to go. Colts 3 out of 5 on 3rd down so far tonight. Comes the blitz. Trudeau with time. Complete. Brooks can't get it into the end zone. McMillan held him up, but he's down to the 2-yard line. It will be another 1st down. Trudeau has done nothing spectacular yet, but he has been very efficient.
That's right. He's letting the stars of the football team do things spectacular. There you see Brooks create a throwing lane for Jack Trudeau. He moved inside to where the defensive linemen and linebackers weren't, so he gave Jack a clear vision to make him throw the ball and protected it.
First and goal. Bentley, touchdown. The first rushing touchdown of the season for Albert Bentley, 3 overall. And Biasucci will come on for the extra point. Biasucci, 19 out of 19 this year. A 16-play drive that took up 9 minutes and 31 seconds. The Colts impressive on their possession offense and lead 10-0.
You can teach your kids the fun of basketball from the right techniques to the right attitude with the help of a great coach and ESPN home video. Legendary UCLA basketball coach John Wooden shows you how to teach your kids all the basics, plus the importance of mental attitude to build confidence and the enjoyment of the game. A free phone call gets you started.
Bend your knees. Relax. Don't stand stiff. Be loose. Be loose. Have those hands moving.
Teaching Kids Basketball is just one of the many Teaching Kids videos available from ESPN, all featuring proven methods from famous coaches. To order Teaching Kids Basketball for just $29.95, call 1-800-841-8900. Ask the operator about our other Teaching Kids videos and save $5 when you order 2. You'll also receive a free ESPN home video catalog. Teaching Kids Sports is child's play with ESPN home video.
They threw Eve out of the Garden of Eden for acquiring it. They tortured people for refusing to renounce it. They charged people $20,000 a year for it. And now you can just watch it on television. Knowledge. You'll find it on the Learning Channel. It's free, and it's the next step in civilization. Business, career, how-to, college prep. The Learning Channel. Take the next step.
On this replay, watch Donaldson make the block, left side of your screen. Fraze had it. They were trying to slant the line to the right, I'm sure expecting Eric Dickerson to be there. Bentley wants to hurdle, but there's no pile to hurdle. So he winds up going through a big open hole into the end zone.
Colts will kick off leading 10-0, and the Jets, 3 minutes and 1 second into the second quarter, will get the ball for only the second time in the entire game. Humphrey and Townsend deep to receive. Can't have the ball, you can't score.
Well, that's what happens when you turn it over down close.
Biasucci, nice high kick. Townsend from the 1. Has a seam. Townsend all the way out to the 48-yard line. Guess what? There's a flag down.
Oh, I couldn't have. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Bruce Plummer made the tackle.
Anybody runs that far, you got to figure a flag's coming from somewhere.
Oh, but it's against the Colts.
Oh, I apologize. Ray's not happy. Or Ron, I'm sorry. Ron's not very happy with that one.
I don't think Ray, wherever he is happy either.
Gary, there's a Ray somewhere that's not very happy.
Personal foul, face mask during the return, number 27 kicking team, first down.
That's a 15-yarder against Keith Taylor, a reserve defensive back. Big break for the Jets, and when we come back, they'll have the ball at the 36 of the Colts.
Here in Indianapolis, we have a proud history as a racing capital of the world. This was one of the fastest cars in 1912. Over the years, a lot of things have changed. Today, this car is winning at speeds of 200 miles an hour or more. I'm Dwayne Bickett of the Indianapolis Colts, and I want you to see something that we're really proud of here in Indianapolis. This is a noble center for retarded children and adults. Jim Irsay, our team's general manager, is a member of the board here. Like every member of the Colts organization, he's involved because he cares.
It isn't just another agency or program to me. It's a chance to fulfill a personal commitment I have to our retarded citizens. When you put your mind as well as your heart into caring, you've got to ask the question, how can I help? What can I do? And the answer is here, through this United Way program. That's why our team and players like Dwayne give to United Way.
Because of United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Colts leading the Jets 10-0, 11:46 to go second quarter, and Dean Biasucci has had a better time than he did on that last kickoff.
Well, here, you know, he's a kicker. He's a tough guy. He's going to stick his head in to try and make the tackle. Well, he misses Townsell, but McElroy just absolutely knees him and sends him into la-la land for a little while. He might think twice about trying to make tackles again.
There's Dean on the sideline, relating the story.
They're great. You know, says, did you? You know, I stuck my head in, and really, I would have made the tackle. I really would have made the tackle, but all of a sudden, my lights went out. I saw nothing. I mean, look, I'm still not sure the lights are back on in there.
Big break for the Jets on the fine kick return by JoJo Townsell and the 15-yard face mask penalty. And they have the ball at the Colts' 36-yard line. What a great drive by Indianapolis. 16 plays, 9-31. The Jets moved the ball well the first time they had it. O'Brien, Toon, ducks a big tackle by Bruce Plummer, who tried to take his head off.
The Jets have to do exactly what they did in the first drive. Run between the tackles, throw the little ball out to Al Toon, let him make a play. Kenny O'Brien, overlooked because of the record of his football team. Still one of those 83 grads of the quarterback school that have come in and is capable of putting big numbers up.
Hector and Vick are the running backs. O'Brien had it batted down at the line of scrimmage. John Hand got a hand up.
And John Hand, just a mild 6'7", stands on the side.
Unusual for a defensive lineman. He's 301. A lot of guys aren't that big. 270.
Normally not that big, but here he does. See, once he makes the initial charge, and you see more and more of this with the ends. I saw Richard Dent knock a pass down today in a game. They take a couple steps. As soon as they get blocked, if they can't put pressure on the passer, they slam on the brakes and jump up and try and knock down the ball, which happened in that case.
3rd and 3, both wide receivers to the near side of the field, Toon and Townsell. And Johnny Hector got one hand out and couldn't hold it. So the Jets get close but can't get the first down, and they'll set up for the field goal. Hope you'll be with us next Sunday. Game day at 11:30 Eastern. What a brilliant story they had this morning on Freeman McNeil and what psychologically injuries do to people. Hope you had a chance to see that. Then prime time at 7 o'clock, both shows starring Pete Axtell.
That's right.
As Chris would say.
I enjoyed that show.
Then the Rams and the Saints will be in New Orleans. Pat Leahy will try from 46 yards out. Has the distance, and he got it. Leahy puts the Jets on the board with 10:57 to go. First half of play. It's 10-3 Colts.
For those considering a Toyota Camry, some revealing news. There's another 5-passenger sedan with front-wheel drive, fuel-injected engine, roomier trunk, and it's $1,200 less than the Toyota Camry. In fact, this German-engineered 1990 Volkswagen Jetta GL, including its new features, costs less than last year. So stop tearing your hair out about new car prices. It's time to think about Volkswagen again.
Xerox presents the Great American Torture Test. We challenged the bone-numbing cold of northern Alaska and intense city traffic. Traveled coast to coast to the suffocating heat of Death Valley and passed with flying colors. Xerox, because extreme conditions demand extreme protection.
Now, the final chapter, students, in Bosworth's book of etiquette, personal hygiene. I suggest the maximum protection of right guard sports stick from Gillette. Antiperspirant and deodorant. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Sarah, keep an eye on your brother.
No matter what size your business, no matter what size the job, Konica copiers are ready. Konica, capturing the imagination.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Volkswagen. Honest value, German engineering. It's time to think about Volkswagen again. By Xerex, the antifreeze coolant for extreme conditions. And by Right Guard Sports Stick from Gillette, antiperspirant and deodorant. Anything else would be uncivilized. Colts on top of the Jets, 10-3, 10:57 to go, second quarter of play. We were talking earlier about the story that was on Game Day this morning about Freeman McNeil. We will update that for you right after the kickoff. Pat Leahy, who connected on the 46-yard field goal. Bentley and Verdun deep. Bentley at the 2. Buried at the 19. Freeman McNeil really hasn't been the same since the first game against the Colts. He has lost his starting job. He was really affected by a block that he put on O'Brien Alston, damaged Alston's knee, and put him out for the season. There's O'Brien Alston in the civvies in the background there. And Freeman McNeil was really bothered psychologically by it. And you have a lot of guys who came up to him and said, we really understand, you know, what you're going through. Nobody likes to see that. But it's really affected his performance. We'll develop that a little bit more. Trudeau with time, he wants it all. Rising! What a great catch all the way to the 20-yard line. James Hasty made the tackle. The longest catch of the year for Andre Rison, the rookie out of Michigan State.
The last 3 or 4 games, Andre Rison has started to catch the ball more. He just lines up and runs, doesn't do anything fancy. Hasty stays in his back pedal a long time and just figures he can run with them. Eric McMillan trying to help out. That's just a great catch. That's a great catch and a great throw by Jack Trudeau.
Tremendous adjustment as the ball sailed from his inside shoulder toward his outside. Dickerson cuts it back, got maybe a yard. Loggeman, the rookie out of Virginia, 250 pounds, was right there along with Marty Lyons.
Yeah, Mike, let me just, about the, we were talking about Freeman McNeil and O'Brien Alston before. It's funny, I've been a guy who's been a part of a very severe injury. I was the guy that got it. Nobody ever really thinks about the people that deliver the blow. I talked to Lawrence Taylor after my injury. He was affected by it, as Freeman was in that instance. But Freeman's back. O'Brien Alston looked pretty good. I saw him in the locker room, so everybody's sort of coming back from that. But it's a traumatic experience for both people involved.
Just have to find a way to psychologically get it out of your mind and go on with what you're doing. 2nd and 8, Trudeau. Again with time, throws, and almost picked off. Radachowski came across in front of Brooks. Had another shot at it, but couldn't come up with it. There's Radachowski, and speaking of injuries, the Jets secondary's been decimated.
Well, you know, they lose Miano. Now this is a little squiggler. He just does manage to get a finger on it. You see, just instead of hitting Billy Brooks between the 8 and the 0, it winds up hitting him on the 0. And it's, you know, just that little bit deflects the flight of the ball, and you wind up with an incompletion.
Radachowski out of Boston College played with the Colts in 84 and 85, and now Trudeau faces 3rd and 8. Trudeau looks right side, throws. Bentley can't hold it. Would have had the first down at the 11-yard line. Leander Knight and Carl Howard back on defense. But the Colts will have to go for the field goal again.
You take a look at this. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers. You don't have to worry about Eric Dickerson if you're the New York Jets in coverage, which is really a little bit of an advantage for the Jets. Dickerson is not going out into pass coverage. Now, that was not a very good throw by Trudeau, But really, if you're the Jets, you only have to defend 4 guys instead of 5.
Biasucci will try from 37. He has hit his last 16 field goals inside of 40 yards. But there goes the streak. And Biasucci, who has been such a tremendous kicker this year, 15 out of 19, is now 15 out of 20 and misfired on that one. Back to Indianapolis in a moment.
Pistol Pete Maravich earned his nickname with an NCAA record 44.2 points per game and went on to become an NBA scoring leader with over 15,000 points and a 24.2 average, earning him a place in the Basketball Hall of Fame and making him the greatest legend in basketball history. Pete's last contribution to the sport he loved was a series of 4 instructional videos that share all the secrets of his incredible success. ESPN is proud to offer this series, Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball. Each 40-minute videotape concentrates on one aspect of your game, from ball handling to passing, dribbling, and shooting. You'll get everything from the basics to the moves that made Pistol Pete a legend, including the drills you need to play like a pro. ESPN is offering Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball for just $29.95 for each tape, or $99.95 for the complete set of 4. Order now and get Maravich Memories the LSU years free. Call 1-800-544-1000 to put some Pistol Pete in your game. And don't forget to ask for the free ESPN Sports Video Catalog when you call.
We're giving you a choice at BET, the network to turn to for the shows you want to see. BET, we're giving you a choice. Reach out and take it. We're giving you a choice. Go ahead and make it. We're giving you a voice. You can't mistake it. We're giving you a choice at BET.
10-3 Indianapolis. It would have been 13-3, but Dean Biasucci, number 4, missed only his 5th field goal of the season. Here was Ron Meyer's reaction.
That is not a happy camper right there. You know, in games like this, every point, every play is magnified.
When you're losing, it's magnified even more. Just from their own 20. Hector races through the hole up to the 24-yard line. Brought down by Jeff Harrod, number 54. He's had 3 straight games of 10 tackles or more. There's Ron Meyer on the sideline. As we told you at the beginning of the telecast, one of the coaches in the NFL under pressure this year with a losing record. And there is Jim Irsay, and he had some quite public things to say this week.
He's laid the gauntlet down to a lot of people on the football team. You got to put up now, guys, because I'm shopping.
2nd and 5. They give Hector the 25 on the last carry. And Hector again. Dodges 1 tackle. Could only get back to the line of scrimmage. Dwayne Bickett. One of the little publicized but outstanding linebackers in this game.
I had a long conversation with Jim Irsay, and, you know, a couple of things he talked about. He really felt like the offense was struggling, and tonight they're doing a terrific job, much better. And he said Hinton's playing great. He told me, really, Ron Myers has a job here. He's not interested in going to look for anybody else. And, you know, they really miss Chris Chandler. I mean, the thing is, you spend all the training camp with one quarterback. All of a sudden, as you mentioned in the open, Mike, through 4 weeks of the season, he's gone, and you're almost cast back where you were. The guy didn't get a lot of work.
3rd and 4, the crowd exhorts the defense. Play action. O'Brien to Hector, trying to beat Bickett. Got the first down, stayed in bounds as long as he could. Finally driven out, and the flag is down. After the play, out of bounds, a gain of 15, and look for 15 more. That's Bruce Plummer, who made what appeared to be a late hit.
We've talked about the problems that the Colts have had in the secondary. They activate Anthony Parker, number 43. Plummer's got to start. He was a backup to Daniels, and now Good is out, so Baylor's got to start.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 23, defense, 1st down.
Let's take a look.
It's one thing about being beat. You know, it's one thing about being beat. It's another thing about doing foolish things that hurt your football team. Now, I don't know whether you can call that one a personal foul or not. He was coming over to knock him out of bounds.
Iffy.
He fell on top of him, but you never know what the Zebras are going to do, so you got to sort of be real smart.
The Jets will take it, however. They're down at the Indianapolis 44. Bryant tries to dump it off, knocked down, and Donnell Thompson, 99, really in Ken O'Brien's face.
And Donnell Thompson did the Jets a favor because he was trying to dump the ball off to Roger Vick. If Roger Vick catches this ball, he's going to be tackled for about an 8-yard loss. Now here comes Banks putting pressure on. Vick tries to block him. Brown tries to block him. O'Brien winds up getting grabbed by him and losing a sock on top of it.
O'Brien, 5 out of 12, only 57 yards. There's Thompson knocking it away. Vick, the intended receiver.
Got those big mitts up in the air. I used to hate the tall defensive ends. God, they make your life miserable.
That's all of them, isn't it?
That's it. All of them.
4-man rush. Jets have done a good job protecting O'Brien tonight, and Al Toon makes the grab. Pushed out of bounds by Jeff Herrod, but it's very close to first down territory.
We're going to see something now. The Jets are making some changes on offense. They're bringing in Adam Schreiber to play the center position. They bring in Kurt Singer to play one tight end, a free agent out of Tennessee. And then they move Jim Sweeney, who was the original center, over to the other tight end. Because in all truth, the area that's been hit the most on the New York Jets has been their tight ends, and they're just not big enough to get the push in short yardage.
They have lost Mickey Schuler, Billy Griggs, and K.D. Dunn to injury. 3rd and 1. Hector spun out of one tackle, couldn't spin out of a second one. The new system did not work, just like the old system.
Well, that one comes from the guys up the middle.
Cliff Odom and John Baylor made the tackle. Joe Walton with a look of displeasure on his face.
Well, here it is, right up the middle. I mean, Odom just goes where they're not. They do an excellent job defensively on the scheme, and they beat the 2 tackles, or the 2 guards in the center, Dan Alexander.
They will not go for a 55-yard field goal, so the Jets send Joe Prokop onto the field. He leads the NFL with punts inside the 20, so this is a good place for him to try to kill one. High sailing spiral. The Jets will try to down it, and it takes a hop away from a man waiting at the goal line. The Jets did everything right. Prokop put it up to the top of the dome. His teammates got down to the goal line, and the ball kicked sideways.
Financial serenity. It takes confidence. Control. The Travelers has been delivering on this promise of financial peace of mind for 125 years. With carefully controlled investments, with insurance protection you can trust. The Travelers, you're better off under the umbrella.
For those considering a Toyota Camry, some revealing news. There's another 5-passenger sedan with front-wheel drive, fuel-injected engine, roomier trunk, and it's $1,200 less than the Toyota Camry. In fact, this German-engineered 1990 Volkswagen Jetta GL, including its new features, costs less than last year. So stop tearing your hair out about new car prices. It's time to think about Volkswagen again.
I said, put on some steaks and get the Queen a Bud Light.
For clean, fresh taste, one light outshines them all. Bud Light.
Henry, they're Pop-Tops.
Because everything else, is just a light.
2 teams with big appetites for bowl bids battle on Thanksgiving night. Heisman hopeful Major Harris leads West Virginia against Syracuse in live college football action. Thursday at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Major Harris, the Mountaineers against the Orangemen, and this is not one of either, a Mountaineer or an Orangeman. Just a fan who decided to dress up a little bit, come out to the ball game.
Yeah, right. It wasn't that cold outside, was it, that you had to put that kind of an outfit on?
And it's not cold in here either. Woo. 6:17 to go in the half. Colts from their own 20. Fake to Dickerson, the throw. Risen. Dances down the sideline, pushed out of bounds by James Hasty. Both teams have been able to move the football in this game. The Jets made one mistake that cost them a tie, as the Colts have scored a touchdown and a field goal. And the Jets have one field goal on the board here in the second quarter. And the storyline is from Indianapolis. Dickerson held to 29 yards rushing. He has not rushed that well against the Jets since becoming a member of the Colts. Rison has had a big first half. Biasucci, first time he's missed inside 40 forever. And total yardage, the Colts by more than 100 over the Jets. Dickerson on the toss. He likes to get the ball out in that position. Ran away from Benson, cut down by McMillan.
Well, that's where Eric Dickerson is going to be most effective, from the tackles out. He can run inside, but he likes to stretch the defense, find a hole, and accelerate. I asked him about his acceleration. He said as soon as he gets the ball, which you see him get it right there, now he's at top speed. Does a little stutter step, and he can cut at top speed. Inside his pants, you can see how tightly wrapped that right hamstring is, and he has to push off it, so it obviously is not bothering him.
36 yards on 10 carries for Dickerson. Biggest run of his career, the biggest pass reception of his career have come against him. He dances into holes so well and doesn't seem to lose any speed whatsoever.
He's also one of the rare running backs that I've ever seen who runs straight up and down. A lot of guys run with a lean forward. Here's a guy who runs basically straight up and down and really takes some shots, but you can't bring him down hitting him high.
I think that's one of the reasons he has fumbled so much, is that straight up running style. And there are his stats against the Jets. Kevin Call, the offensive right tackle, who has had injury problems this year with a sprained foot and a sprained knee, down again.
The Colts have started 5 possessions, and they've averaged 50 yards at least on every one. There you see Dickerson actually, I think, is going to be the one that winds up.
He came down on Call's left ankle as he went across.
Yeah. Looks like he got, hard to tell exactly what happened, whether he got hit or kicked there.
It appears that's what they're working on right now. Call obviously in some pain. 60-year player out of Colorado State, originally a 5th-round draft choice in '84. Yes, it is basketball time. Started last week. The Dodge NIT. The semifinals coming up Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern. DePaul and 25th-ranked St. John's against Kansas and #1 UNLV. And Kansas, with that excellent passing game, may give Jerry Tarkanian and his team a test.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. Those running rebels,
they can play, can't they?
No, they don't even call them running anymore. They're just moving faster than running.
Their game against Loyola Marymount, I thought that was going to be the first team to 200 by 2.
Couldn't believe it. Loyola Marymount took 8 seconds to get a shot off. UNLV took 9 in that game in the first half.
We talked about Freeman McNeil being concerned about an injury on a block he laid on O'Brien Alston as we watch Kevin Call.
We did talk about that.
Yeah,
I remember that. We talked about that. But, you know, here's the kind of situation where this is something that is not as, hopefully it's not very severe, and it's really the kind of thing that happens in the infighting in the offensive line. A lot of guys get lower leg problems, knees and ankles, because, first of all, they get caught on this lousy AstroTurf. Now, it may be good, and it may be good for indoor stadiums, but it's lousy for a football player.
Call coming off. More and more stadiums are going to natural grass inside.
I'd love to see them figure out a way to grow it in here.
They have the lights now that can do it.
Good. Then they ought to.
Brian Baldinger out of Duke comes in at right tackle in place of Kevin Call on 2nd and 8. Delay to Dickerson. Slips a tackle. Stiff arms another man, dives forward to the 46-yard line, very close to another first down. Carl Howard and McMillan made the tackle.
What happens when you commit a safety? Here comes number 20, Knight. He's running so hard to go get Jack Trudeau, he forgets that Eric Dickerson has the ball, has to slam on the brakes and try and catch him. When a space is voided by a blitzing linebacker and a running back can get into it, there is nobody home to tackle.
It is a first down for the Colts. Quick out. Clarence for Dan, first down to the Jets' 40-yard line. 14-yard gain.
Boy, James Hasty comes within a whisker of picking this one off and going the other way. That secondary of the Jets likes to gamble. Hasty's got 3 interceptions. Watch this. Verdan's going to plant. Now, Hasty breaks on the ball. Great. But he wasn't sure whether to go for the tackle or go for the ball. He got caught there in no man's land and just hesitated for a second. You can barely see it in the picture, but he gets so close.
Colts at the Jets' 40. 4:09 to go, first half. Dickerson got away from Fraze. Stiff arm James Hasty, who finally got him out of bounds. A gain of 14 for Eric Dickerson.
You can't bring down Eric Dickerson if you hit him high. He's probably one of the best straight armors I've ever seen. I don't care if you're a 295-pound lineman, a linebacker, or a defensive back. There you see Fraze try and hit him high. He just lowers his shoulder, then uses his straight arm to get outside. He can run with anybody.
Spotted at the 25, and now one of the Jets going to need some attention.
Kevin MacArthur going over to the sidelines. It looks like he's pointing to his left knee.
Dickerson has gained 61 yards here in the first half on 13 carries. The last 4 carries, he's gotten 32 of those yards.
He's only averaged 47.5. How's that in fractions? How do you figure out the 0.5 against the Colts? Or against the Jets, excuse me.
Dickerson. This time maybe a yard. Coming up from the corner, Kerry Glenn closed in a hurry and made the stop. Got some help from Stallworth inside. Clock working down to 3:47. The Colts have moved the ball every time they've had it, but have only 10 points. So the Jets remain within a touchdown. Jets making wholesale substitutions on 2nd and 8.
Well, they bring in, most people on nickel packages bring in defensive backs. They bring in defensive linemen.
And Trudeau did not like the substitutions that he saw with the play he already had called, so Trudeau will use a Colt timeout. Stop the clock with 3:23 to go in the half. The Jets bring in Bird, Nichols, and Washington, and usually Jeff Lageman will go to a down lineman in that spot, trying to get some more pass pressure.
And Lageman, you know, he was an outside linebacker, and it's different for him playing on the inside. Or I'm sorry, you know, it's just he was an inside linebacker. Now he's playing outside, and he's having trouble learning some of the techniques of the outside linebacker. One in particular is when you're an inside linebacker, you like to pursue. Now, as an outside linebacker, and we saw it on the short yardage before, if you get a guy who loves to chase the ball, boy, you can bring reverses and bootlegs around on his side. And he says it's the one thing that he really has to be careful of.
They feel that Lageman's going to be an outstanding player in time. He was one of the rookies that was hurt because he had a contract holdout. And when a rookie misses training camp, I don't care how good you were in college, you come into the pros, there is just so much to learn.
Played at the same high school with Alan Jenkins, who's with the Oilers out of Virginia, Sterling, Virginia.
Time of possession heavily in favor of the Colts, who have put together 4 impressive drives. Bentley slipped the tackle, plenty of room. Bentley to the 5, shoved out of bounds. Carl Howard saved the touchdown, and that time Bobby Humphrey, playing man-to-man, never turned around and saw the run. He was chasing his assignment, his wide receiver.
That's the job. You get locked into man-to-man coverage, all you have to do is trap, and that's what they do. They trap whoever is covering Bentley, and it turns into a foot race, and in this case, Albert's got the advantage.
They'll spot it at the 1, 1st and goal. Ivy, Joe Hunter, and Dickerson in the backfield. Fake by Trudeau. Touchdown, it is tight end Pat Beach. from the one to go play action. That's almost unfair.
Well, I know when you got Eric Dickerson, Albert Bentley in the backfield, and you run play action, it's cheating. I agree with you. That is cheating. You know, Beach, that's only his 10th catch all year. Show you how infrequently they even throw to the tight end.
And his first touchdown. Biasucci will try to make it 17-3. Stark gets it down, and Biasucci puts it through.
You wonder, what does an Eric Dickerson do for your football team? Everybody focuses on stopping Eric, especially with a yard to go. There you see the end of the play action, but he faked into the line to Eric, and Beach is just wide open with an escort in the end zone.
Closest player to him was Dickerson.
There you go. Dickerson's at fullback on this one. And Ivy Joe is the guy who's going to do the play faking, but still, I mean, no matter, as long as Eric is in the backfield, everybody's attention is focused on him.
Jack Trudeau very happy about the outcome of that, and Pat Beach, his first touchdown in 3 years. And Ron Meyer now sees his club go up by 14 points on the 2 touchdown drives. Jack Trudeau is 8 for 8 for 119 yards. Just can't be any better than that.
We said that this was a very pivotal game for Jack, and he had to really come to the forefront and show his leadership. He's made great decisions with the football, throwing the ball, completing them big plays, and now executing the third downs when he has to.
Jets down by 14, and remember, there are 22 players on this team with 2 years or less experience. Robert Ursay, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts, obviously enjoying this one so far.
And you see the phone in his box does not go down to the press box. That's what Jim Irsay told me. He says, no, he can't call down. He said, he wants to call down, he's got to come to my box.
Biasucci to kick it away. Of course, Irsay, when he was had the Baltimore Colts, was known to send in some suggestions.
Yeah, he'd
down
run
the
into
field level.
well, he'd run into a payphone. You know, he'd run out into the hall and run into a payphone and say, give me a bench. I got to call somebody down there.
3:12 to go in the half. Bobby Humphrey. Across the 20 to about the 22, really taking some punishment. And the Jets will start from there.
You know, Mike, you reach points in a game and in a season where maybe a series or a quarter or something. This series for the New York Jets is so vitally important. Kenny O'Brien has got to figure out some way to keep this drive going to get some points on the board. The Jets have moved the ball fairly well. They've had people open. They just haven't converted to third downs. It's up to him and his offense to move the ball down the field and get something.
And he has plenty of time and all 3 timeouts left. Townsell and Toon, the wide receiver. Pressure from behind. O'Brien never saw it. Completed it to Hector. Hector forced out of bounds. Will gain a couple. Ken O'Brien last week accused of being a wimp by the Miami Dolphins. He is far from it.
Oh, yeah, that's baloney. That's just a defensive guy jawing, whether you're a rookie or whether you're a veteran. There you see the shot he takes. I got baited into that situation once by a defensive linebacker, and then the next week I thought I'd go diving in the end zone. I got my lunch handed to me. They set up quarterbacks like that. They think we're stupid, and I was stupid enough to do it. But Kenny's as tough as they come. He's taken a lot of pounding for a number of years, and he'll take some more.
Lewis Oliver was the guy who made that statement for Miami. Here comes the blitz. O'Brien under pressure, sacked by Chip Banks. There was a gamble by the Colts to pick up Chip Banks, who had problems with Cleveland and San Diego, but the ex-Pro Bowlers produced.
Well, he's proven his worth. He's 6'4", he's 245, and he just gets around the corner. He's so quick, Alexander doesn't stand a chance. Now, one of the other things they've talked about with O'Brien is they've said O'Brien holds the ball a long time. You talk to the defensive guys of the Colts, they say, Donnell Thompson, he does hold the ball a long time. He holds it a little bit longer than maybe he should, and that was a case where he might have gotten rid of it.
3rd and 12. Colts show blitz and come with it. They've got O'Brien at the 16. Jeff Herrod in the middle of that pile, but it was Donnell Thompson and Sam Clancy, the former basketball player from Pitt, who put on the pressure.
The Jets were a little confused at the line of scrimmage here. They run a twist up front. John Hand just comes smoking up the middle. And I'll tell you, if a quarterback can't step up the middle and make a throw, there's nowhere to run but outside, and usually got the end sitting out there waiting for you.
So Prokop has to come on with 2:18 to go in the half, and the Colts should have excellent field position getting the ball back. Clearance for Dan waits at his own 41-yard line. Game day, 11:30 in the morning next Sunday. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, Pete Axthelm, and Fred Edelstein will be along to tell you what's coming up in the NFL all day. Then at prime time, 7 o'clock, highlights of every NFL game. John Saunders will be along to join our crew. And then next Sunday night, Joe and I will be in New Orleans. The Rams and the Saints, 8 o'clock Eastern. Jim Everett against Bobby Hebert.
And the 49ers lost today. Both the Saints and the Rams won today. That race gets tighter.
They're all getting tighter.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talked about the AFC and 9 and 7 wild card berth. It could happen in the NFC the way things are going.
Sure could. Prokop stands at his own 2. Beautiful sailing punt for Dan at the 34. Giving ground. Has a seam. For Dan back to midfield, and a flag down for a late hit out of bounds. A 49-yard punt, a return to 15, and there will be 15 more on the end of it.
Personal foul, face mask, number 54, kicking team during the return. First down.
Troy Benson, the linebacker.
What makes this play is on the left side, Phillip Epps was tied up at the line of scrimmage. There is no cover man on the left side for the Jets. He's completely down the field, 4 miles. There you see the top of your screen. He is supposed to be down to the ball before anyone else. Now you see him 20 yards later finally coming into the picture.
Well, Benson didn't get over there in time to get the face mask. It was somebody else, but Benson got in a late hit.
There he is trying to get down. Now, his job is to go down and make sure Verdun can't make a move. Look at the job being done by him by the Colts at the line of scrimmage. He gets about 8 yards down the field.
Dickerson on the delay. Dragging people with him inside the 30-yard line. That will take us down to 2 minutes. The Indianapolis Colts impressive with a 17-3 lead in the ball.
You can teach your kids the fun of bowling from the right techniques to the right attitude with the help of a great coach and ESPN home video. Expert youth bowling coach and Team USA member Gordon Vatican shows you how to teach your kids the basics of aim, stance, approach, and release. The emphasis is on fun, and a free phone call gets you started.
More ball speed, a little straighter, and that's going to make you a better spare shooter.
Teaching Kids Bowling is just one of the many Teaching Kids videos available from ESPN, all featuring proven methods from famous coaches. To order Teaching Kids Bowling for just $29.95, call 1-800-841-8900. Ask the operator about our other Teaching Kids videos and save $5 when you order 2. You'll also receive a free ESPN home video catalog. Teaching Kids Sports is child's play with ESPN home video.
The wind is the only thing that is either for you or against you.
We're going to go to 76, eggshell across. Bar double wing, hum short.
Pass it off, let's go!
Don't give them time to make an adjustment defensively. That'll be your job.
Anticipation is probably the most important part of the game.
You got the 2-minute warning. Officials are here.
Your Proline headquarters is Merle Harmon's Fanfare in shopping malls coast to coast.
Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann back with you from Indianapolis. All year long, the Colts have had a tough time scoring points in the first half, averaging less than 7 points. They have 17 in this one.
That's right, and what they've done is they have really produced offensively. Their defense has shut down the Jets. You could see it by time of possession. But their offense has played well, especially Jack Trudeau.
Yes, he has.
Tonight has been Jack Trudeau's tonight to come out and lead the football team. He's done exactly what he's had to do.
You said earlier that he watched from the sideline a week ago because of that bad left hand, and apparently it's paid off.
He's really playing within himself.
1:59 to go in the half. Trudeau changes the play. Four-man rush. Under some pressure this time. Loose ball. Picked up by Hinton. And I think they'll call it down. Gerald Nichols came in and manhandled Jack Trudeau.
I think one thing also, Chris Hinton has to realize you can't run the other way either. You know, that doesn't do you a lot of good running towards the other team's goal line.
I think he was just working on some momentum. And it would have been a nasty sight if he'd gotten turned around, too. 3rd and 11 for Trudeau. Rifles this one. Great throw to Risen, and Risen out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Now, any questions about Trudeau's arm would be answered there.
Oh, he just set and fired this one. Risen's just going down and run a stop. Good protect. See how he gets a chance to step and lean into it? And he put all the mustard he could get behind that one. Risen does a nice job of turning to the outside. Nobody ever really gets a good shot at him. We did that Michigan State-Georgia game at Gator Bowl last year where he just lit the world on fire.
4 catches tonight, 100 yards. Bentley, after going in motion, gets the delay. Excellent play over there by Dennis Byrd. One of the pass rushing specialists made the good tackle. Colts only have 1 timeout left, but plenty of time on the clock. 2nd and 13. Risen and Brooks go right. Trudeau flips it to Dickerson. Clifton out there. Chased him out of bounds. Hope you'll be with us at halftime. Chris Berman comes along with the fastest 3 minutes in television. Joe Ehrman on the men who played the game, and Joe Theismann will be back with his first half analysis and a lot to talk about, especially from the Colts viewpoint. Jack Trudeau has played brilliantly. They've gotten good yardage out of Dickerson. Andre Rison has made some big plays.
And that Jet defense has got to be exhausted. They've been out on the field over, 20, 25 minutes. You just can't leave people out there for that long.
Kevin Call is back in at right tackle for Indianapolis. 3rd and 15. Trudeau to Brooks. Wrapped up by Hasty at the 15-yard line. It will be shy of the first down. And here comes the field goal team.
Well, if he makes this, Mike, it's the same situation the Jets had last week against Miami. They were ahead 20-3. Looked like everything was going real well in their way. They wind up losing that one. This is something the Colts have to be careful of. They can, and the Jets certainly, with all the weaponry on offense, can put points on the board. I certainly wouldn't turn this sucker off. I'd stay here. I'll bet you $1 to a donut.
Well, we will stay here.
Absolutely.
Start to hold for Biasucci as they let the clock run down as far as they can. 32-yard attempt, and Biasucci back on target. He is 2 out of 3 tonight. And the Colts now up 20-3. Not a fun first half, and typical of the year that Joe Walton and the Jets have had.
And this has got to hurt him more than anything because he's their offensive coordinator. He's the guy that's supposed to come up with the plays that make it happen on offense. And, no matter, I don't care what they say about any coach, and I played for Joe Walton. Once you walk in between the white lines, it's up to the guys with the helmets and the shoulder pads to execute plays. You can design and devise these exotic plays or make them as simple as you want. You got to get execution. And the Jets have not been able to execute again on 3rd down. It's killed them all year, and it's killing them again.
It's like the old story about the coach who was losing and someone asked him what he thought about the execution of his team, and he said, I think it's a great idea.
It might be a thought coming into his mind right now.
Pat Ryan on the sideline, injured early, has not played.
He was injured in
that.
He was injured in the game we did down in Raleigh here on ESPN, and I asked him about his knee. I had breakfast with he and Tony Eason and Kenny O'Brien this morning, and he said it feels pretty good. It's not 100%, but it feels pretty good.
4 quarterbacks at one table for breakfast. That must be an ugly scene.
I didn't talk much either. I didn't. I bet you thought it. Figure, who dominated the conference. I listened. I listened to all these kids.
Colts to kick off with 14 seconds to go. And they'll go with one of the squib kicks. Townsell at the 10. Got it back to the 22. You wonder, since that play always seems to be successful, why do they ever bother to kick it away? Why don't they squib kick all the time? The drive, this time a short one, only 21 yards. 151, and Biasucci finished it off from 31 yards out. Now let's see what the Jets will do with 9 seconds left. You would have to think...
take a snap and kneel down.
Yeah.
And that's what I would expect Kenny O'Brien to do. Go back in, regroup, take a look at your offense, and figure out how you can find something.
Split the wide receivers and split the running backs behind O'Brien. Hector on the little delay, and he'll get back a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Sam Clancy. That will do it for the first half of play. It's been almost all Colts here at home at the Hoosier Dome. They lead the New York Jets 20-3. Let's go to our studios and Chris Berman.
All right, guys, thank you very much. So this game may not be that close, but boy, around the league today, Week 11, we had some barn burners. Where do we begin? How about the Windy City in Chicago, where the Buccaneers had beaten the Bears at Week 5 at Tampa. They'd lost 5 in a row since, but they looked like they were going to beat the Bears again until Mike Tomczak came off the bench with 3 touchdown passes last 4.5 minutes. This one to Wendell Davis had the Bears up by 2. But the Nigerian nightmare for the Bears was Donald Igwe-Wike. Field goal gave the Bucs a 32-31 win. Minnesota at Philadelphia, opening kickoff. Herschel gets the ball to 7, follows the wedge, and let him go. He could go all the way. 93 yards. The Vikings would lead the Eagles late, 9-3. But with 2.5 minutes to go, Randall Cunningham, the circus catch by Chris Carter. Touchdown. Eagles over the Vikes 10-9. While the big boys in the NFC Central lost, could the Pack pick up ground? They were playing the San Francisco 49ers. Joe Montana, 325 yards passing, including this touchdown to Jerry Rice. But the other Amp quarterback, Don Mikowski, ran for 2, threw for 1. The Pack upset the Niners at Candlestick, 21-17. Return to Cleveland for Marty Schottenheimer, this time as coach of the Chiefs. Nick Lowry, 45-yarder end of the game. No good. Would have given the Chiefs a 13-10 win. But a penalty gives them another shot from 40. It's no good to the left. Would have given the Chiefs a 13-10 win. In overtime, last second, no good. Would have given the Chiefs a 13-10 win. They tie in OT. Bengals trying to claw their way back in the AFC Central against the Lions. Detroit led at 7-0, but a 28-point second quarter for the Bengals. Boomer Esiason threw for 399 yards. 11 times he hooked up with Tim McGee. Touchdown. The Bengals claw the Lions in the jungle. 42-7. House of Pain. Raiders in Houston, 20 penalties in the game. Warren Moon inflicted the pain on the Raiders. Pair of touchdown passes. This one to Leonard Harris of 10 yards. The Oilers half back in the AFC Central, 23-7 winners. The 2 worst offenses in football got together for a shindig in Pittsburgh. Chargers and Steelers. The offense provided by the speedster Rod Woodson. 84 yards on the kickoff return. He does go all the way. The Steelers snap a 2-game losing streak, beating the Chargers 20-17. At the Meadowlands, Seattle against the Giants. Ground Bill against grounded Chuck. But when the Giants went to the air, Phil Simms and the immortal Howard Cross, they had hung a 15-3 loss on the Seahawks. Long season for Chuck Knox. New Orleans at Atlanta. After a real shaky September, Bobby Hebert and the Saints are rolling. Thanks in part to Dalton Hilliard. 158 yards against the Falcons today, and this 21 was better than Dion. That 21. Saints over the Falcons 26-17. Out west, a day at the beach for the Rams. Was this a team that once lost 4 games in a row? Didn't look like it against the Phoenix Cardinals. Jim Everett, 308-yard day passing. Henry Ellard caught 5 of the passes for 163 yards. The Rams are on a roll. They the Cards, 37-14. Ed Too Tall Jones, consecutive start streak, stopped after 201 games. His mom passed away this week. He was on hand to watch Miami's Dan Marino. Hail Mary at the end of the first half. Answered by Andre Brown. Miami, 7-4, beat the Cowboys 17-14. New England praying to beat the Buffalo Bills, with the Bills hitting 24-23. Jim Kelly picked off by Maurice Hurst. Used to be Bruce Hurst, a sports champion up in Boston. Now Maurice Hurst. New England humbles the Bills 33-24. And so the Bills lost, maybe the Colts gain. If the Colts win tonight, they'll be just 2 back in the AFC East. We've got more at halftime. Indianapolis Colts lead the Jets 20-3 at the Hoosier Dome. We'll be back.
Something special has begun. A new way of knowing about the events and trends that touch us. Our families, our work, our lives. Something important is happening. And each time you see it, the news from a very complicated world suddenly becomes very clear. The world today on CNN.
You know, it pays to watch.
It's news you can really profit from.
Today, fortunes are made and lost faster than ever before. That's why I watch the Financial News Network on cable TV.
You can watch entertaining shows about the rich and the famous, or you can watch Financial News Network and learn how to join them.
Financial News Network, only on cable.
FNN, it pays to watch.
ESPN gives you a spectacular courtside view of ACC and Big East basketball, slam-jammed with color and excitement. Check out the sparkling sights and sounds of the electrifying shootouts all season long. What a pass!
Get a TO, baby! Go get him, big fella! Rock and roll! It's party time now!
The nation's top conferences battle in nightly doubleheaders during the first ever ACC Big East Challenge Week, starting Monday, December 4th, live on ESPN.
Welcome back to halftime. Once upon a time, the Baltimore Colts used to own the AFC East. Of course, as we said, they were in Baltimore in the mid-'70s. They won back-to-back-to-back divisional titles. They had a good quarterback in Burt Jones and a nice pass rush. One of the guys on the front wall, Joe Ehrman. Now, instead of playing the game of football, he plays the game of life. Here's Jeff Kay.
Basically, what we have here is kind of a MASH unit. We minister to these people and love these people and work with them and give them the resources to benefit their lives and to change their family structures.
You been here before?
Everybody in this country should have the right to adequate food and clothing and shelter. So we line up different suburban churches to do food drives for us. Then on the last Tuesday of the month, we'll open up our food pantry to the public. By the end of the month, the food stamps have run out, the checks have run out, and it's amazing the number of hungry people in our society.
The man who cared enough to open the door in this poor East Baltimore neighborhood was the Reverend Joe Ehrman. Ironically, he used to close doors on quarterbacks and ball carriers. A #1 draft choice from Syracuse and the anchor of Baltimore's famous sack pack, one of the best defensive lines of the 70s. Then, quite suddenly, Joe Ehrman lost his kid brother Billy to a rare form of cancer.
I remember standing at the gravesite, and after the last amen was said, seeing everybody walk away, and the burning question I had in my heart, in my gut, is what is the purpose of life? Where do you get real value in life and meaning from life? And I had played 7 years, had acquired and achieved beyond my wildest expectations, and found that I had no concept of what life was about.
But see, if you're one of God's children, God is going to judge you and he's going to discipline you in this world. Grab your Bibles, those green Bibles that you have in front of you. And if you would, turn to page 432.
He found that meaning in the Holy Scriptures.
the book of Hebrews.
And upon completing his formal theological training,
it produces righteousness.
He brought that me back to Baltimore, to a unique urban ministry, part church, part sanctuary, for victims of inner-city moral decay. The Door.
And our love and appreciation for each other, because all of us come here with tremendous struggles and problems and frustration. None of us are immune from it. Basically, what we try to do is provide an alternative church within this community. We attempt to provide an atmosphere that demonstrates love and acceptance. We have no dress code. We try to target people that aren't used to going to church. We want the unchurched. We want the non-religious people. That's our target group within this community. So if someone's from a traditional church, they would probably come up here and not enjoy what we're doing.
Is you the preacher?
Yes,
Well, I think I want you to do something for me. Would you do it for me?
It depends.
Kneel down. I want you to pray for me.
Come on back here. I'll be glad to talk to you. If you got an alcohol problem, whatever your problem is, come and be loved and accepted by us. And we try to demonstrate that to whoever comes up here.
Pray for God to help me.
Father, we do ask your healing, Lord. We pray that you would give Lee the support that he needs in order to kick this, Father. It's a terrible, difficult thing to go through alone, Lord.
Imagine a world beneath the sea with an enchanted McDonald's of pure fantasy, where the Little Mermaid's Prince Sebastian and Flounder the fish come to life to grant your holiday wish.
Buy a $5 book of McDonald's gift certificates and get a free plush ornament, either Flounder
That's me.
or Sebastian.
I always knew I'd be famous.
From the all-new Disney animated feature, The Little Mermaid, now in theaters everywhere.
So come to McDonald's, hurry along, like a true fantasy. It's here then. Score! Your holiday place, McDonald's.
Okay. But just suppose another tornado rips up our Meadville plant. Then what? Or suppose we have a string of accidents, like we did in '86. Suppose I get sick again. Would another insurance company come through like the people from the Hartford? I doubt it. And after 14 years, this fella is not about to find out.
When you need us most, we're at our best. The Hartford.
Most people don't think about high efficiency until it's too late. But if your home doesn't have an efficient Heil furnace, you could be throwing money right up the chimney. A Heil furnace keeps you warm without freezing the rest of your budget. Heil Home Heating Systems, the energy savers.
This portion of halftime is brought to you by Acura Automobiles, #1 in customer satisfaction 3 years in a row. We're at halftime at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. The Colts lead the New York Jets 20-3. Welcome back to Indianapolis, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann. Glad you could be with us on ESPN. When you were talking to some of the people around the Colts before this game, there was displeasure with Jack Trudeau because Chris Chandler was going to be their starting quarterback this year. He gets hurt the way Colts quarterbacks always seem to get hurt in the first month of the season, at least the last 4 years. Tonight, Jack Trudeau has played exceptionally well.
He really has. And, you know, in talking to him through the course of the last 3 days, he has felt like he can get the job done. He just needed a chance to do it. Here he sets himself very well in the pocket and just lets the ball fly to Andre Rison. Now, if you throw the ball deep, it should be over the left outside shoulder, and that's exactly where he puts it and gives Rison a chance to make a Rison type of a catch. The next one will be a play-action play. When Eric Dickerson's in the backfield, you got to respect him. There's Ivy Joe Hunter making the fake. And Trudeau just does a nice... This is the toughest pass in football to me. When a guy's wide open, you have a tendency to go with alligator arms and just want to hand it to him. He just lays it out there nice and does an excellent job of completing it. There are the numbers. And again, 13 of 18, 185, a touchdown pass. Kenny O'Brien has not been able to come up with a third down play, and that's been the biggest problem for the Jets. They can't convert the third downs. The first half has belonged to Jack Trudeau.
Of course, the one thing the Jets were able to do, they moved the ball quite a bit, got one field goal, got down in scoring position, and Kenny O'Brien threw an interception. The Jets have nearly picked off the Colts a couple of times, but when you're losing like the Jets have been, you drop the interceptions, the other team gets them, and you have to give the Colts all the salute in the world because they have taken advantage of the breaks they've had in the first half, and their offense has controlled the ball exceptionally well.
They really have. For the Colts, the second half, they have to keep on doing what they're doing. The Jets have got to come up and put the ball in the air. You got to get Al Toon the football. He's your big play guy. You've got to figure out a way to get him the football. That's going to be the key for the Jets.
20-3 at the half. The Indianapolis Colts leading the New York Jets. Some people are really into it, and we'll be back in a moment.
The anti-lock brakes on the 1990 Acura Integra were inspired by those used to stop jet aircraft. And while you might expect to find such technology on a multi-million-dollar airplane, you might not expect to find it on an automobile that costs considerably less.
You're looking sharp, you're looking good, you've come so far, and we know how to make the most of who you are. Where the race is run, you're the champion. Gillette,
the Gillette Atra Plus system and Gillette Foamy Shave Cream, together the best a man can get.
Brought to you by the King of Beers.
One airline works harder than any other to make sure that a good landing not only means getting you there on time, but landing your bag in your hand on time as well. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
Welcome back to Indianapolis. The Colts leading 20-3. They will kick off to start the third quarter. Bobby Humphrey and JoJo Townsell are deep. And this will be the most important possession of the game for the New York Jets. They need to get some points on the board. They have moved the ball, but scoring is more important than that.
Yeah, you know, time of possession, all that kind of stuff doesn't count. You got to put numbers up on the scoreboard.
Humphrey at the goal line. 24-yard line brought down. The Jets will start from there. And as you take a look at the halftime stats, look at the total yards. 299 to 90.
Well, you know, I mean, they're beaten in everywhere. I mean, every place that the Colts could beat up on the Jets, they have. First downs, completion percentage, passing yards, rushing yards, total yards. You can forget about the rushing yards. The rushing yards now should be to keep the Colts honest. I think they can't abandon their game plan, but I still believe they got to get the ball to the guys who can make plays for them.
One turnover hurt the Jets in the first half. They were down in scoring territory and came away empty. O'Brien quickly out to Townsell, gets the feet down, out of bounds at the 33. Townsell has gone from a premier special teams player with the injuries to Walker and Toon to one of the starting receivers, and he's had a good year.
Yeah, it's been a real sound. 32 possessions, 3 TDs. He's averaging 17.5. But, of course, when you don't have an Al Toon in there to help you out, really, and everybody would focus on Al, JoJo's numbers would probably still be up higher.
Second and a yard to go after the gain of 9. Johnny Hector fighting for the first down stick, got close. Here's what the Jets did when they had the football in the first half. 62 yards, ends in an interception, an impressive drive. Then they got their only points after a 4-play drive that resulted in the field goal. 42 yards and a punt And after that, they really never threatened the Indianapolis Colts defense. Measuring for the first down. Half the length of the ball.
That was great. They didn't have to face a 3rd and short.
Yeah.
That's important. You can come up with 2nd and 1 all the time. They can handle those. They've had real trouble on 3rd down and short.
It has not been very kind to them. Joe Walton hoping the offense will be able to do something this half. He needs a big production out of his unit. Johnny Hector, nothing doing this time. The nose man, Armstrong, had him around the ankles, and then Donnell Thompson finished him off.
Well, they felt like they could run inside. Freddie Young's only 235. Jeff Herard's only 245. But then you're faced with Harvey Armstrong, who's 6'3" and 280. And he can take up a little bit of space.
First-year starter is Armstrong out of SMU. Spot the ball at the 35, so it's 2nd and 10.
Jets taking some good splits, trying to spread out that 34 defense.
Hector in stride. 50, 40, 35, 34-yard line. Driven out of bounds by Dwayne Bickett, but a perfect throw by O'Brien. There is a flag down, however.
This one's going to go against the Colts, though. Right here on this play, you're going to see the play-action fake up inside. Hector's just going to swing around. They're in man-to-man coverage. When this guy comes in motion, there's nobody out in this section of the football field. He just runs all alone by himself. The inside linebacker who's in coverage, they don't switch off quick enough. And Johnny Hector says, hey, I'm all by myself. Nice move right there to pick up an additional 10 yards.
Penalty was against the Colts. The Jets decline and have a first down at the Indianapolis 33. A.B. Brown in as the sole setback. He has not carried the ball this year. And flag stopped the play.
Ball start prior to the snap. Number 86 offense, still first down.
That's the tight end, Keith Newbert.
Hey, you can't blame him. He's only played 1 year of football before he got drafted. Here's a guy who was over in Europe playing basketball, and all of a sudden somebody called and said, oh, by the way, you got drafted in the 8th round by the Jets. Come on back, and that's what he did. Really, he played basketball in college. I mean, and now he's a starting tight end in the National Football League.
1 year of football at Nebraska. But he was impressive enough in that 1 year to go to the scouting combine and try out. A.B. Brown on the toss. McElroy in front of us. Cuts it back, Brown down to the 31-yard line. First carry of the year for A.B. Brown. Cliff Odom made the tackle. Look at all of the injuries. Altoon, Wesley Walker, and Mickey Schuler. I mean, these are 3 great receivers, and they've been almost useless to this team.
Well, we talked about it. Altoon has practiced only 15 times the entire season, including training camp. Wesley Walker has practiced once, and that was on Wednesday, and had to drain his knee afterwards.
Ball spotted at the 31, 2nd and 8. O'Brien with time, little dump off to Hector. Stutter step, can't get away, stopped at the 27-yard line. Nice defense by Banks and Herrod.
They held their ground, didn't give up. They let Hector dance all he wanted to. Just stand there and shuffle back and forth. They just froze their position, never moved. The old 1-2 doesn't cut it. You'll see it. Again, a little check down. There's the throw to Hector. Now, one outside, one inside. Now, one outside, and one inside. A one outside, and one inside. And then onto the ground. Trouble is, his partner had a blue shirt on, wanted to take him down.
3rd and 4, O'Brien goes to the shotgun. Deep for Toon, overthrown. Pretty decent coverage by Bruce Plummer. And Altoon, the big target, not big enough.
Well, it's excellent coverage because Toon's running a corner pattern, or it's a deep corner, and Plummer's on the outside. See, they split, they bring Toon inside tight, Now, Plummer does the right thing. He's on the outside pattern. I mean, if he's running a post, he's dead. But he just happened to be in the right defense fundamentally. Here's a guy who knew what his job was, and he stayed outside, and that prohibited the Jets from completing it.
Leahy, who has been an excellent long-range field goal kicker, will try from 45. And that's the way it's gone. Leahy jerks it left, and the Jets remain 17 points down to the Indianapolis Colts.
When issues of agility and precision take on special urgency, we recommend the BMW 5 Series. Its unparalleled defense system is designed to help you emerge unscathed from a hostile world.
Katie, quick, it's 7B.
That comes through. Picture yourself. Picture yourself. Picture yourself in that cruise.
Before you even touch this camera, you're going to want to own it. The incredible 35mm Infinity Super Zoom 300 from Olympus.
Decades before women fought for their role in the workplace or their right to vote, Mutual of New York sold the nation's first life insurance policy to a woman. It's that kind of innovative thinking that's provided 146 years of uninterrupted dividends for the present and annuities and pensions for the future of a new generation of mothers, daughters, and sisters, and their fathers, sons, and brothers.
Mutual of New York. Money for life.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. To arrange a thorough test drive, simply phone your nearest BMW dealer. By Van Heusen, picture yourself with a style that comes through. Picture yourself in Van Heusen. And by Olympus, makers of 35mm cameras and video. Jets fail to convert on a long field goal opportunity. Can't pull within 14, and it's the Colts' ball at their own 27-yard line. Trudeau once more hit from behind, loose ball. Trudeau got it back and is pounded as he reached the 30. When it goes bad, it goes bad. Lageman got him from behind.
Well, Lageman on the blitz. Colts not backing up at all. He sets in the pocket. Lageman will come in from the left side and just run around the block. Slaps the ball out of his hand. Now Trudeau, presence of mind, finds it. Now here's the way the ball bounces for you. One nice hop right up into his hands, and then boom. I mean, he runs into a wall, a jet wall.
Reminiscent of another 56, Chris Dolan of the Vikings, who we'll see in a couple of weeks. Dickerson on the delay. Chase to the sideline. Look at the speed to turn the corner. McMillan there to meet him as he got the first down. In the first half of play, the Colts very successful when they had the football. They scored 4 out of the 5 times that they had the ball. The first on a field goal after a drive of 50, then 75. Look at the length of these drives. 63 they missed on that occasion, however. An 80-yard drive for a touchdown. I mean, that's very impressive. And then 21 yards for a field goal.
And that came at the end of the half, after they had the opportunity to shut them down on defense.
They'll measure for the first. And they got it. Pony's having fun in Indianapolis.
Yeah, Pony feels pretty good about the way things are going. So does this guy. And he should. I mean, anytime you get the ball knocked out of your hand and you wind up with a 2-yard gain chasing it around the field, you know things are going your way.
Trudeau has never had a season in the National Football League for 4 years where he has thrown more touchdown passes than interceptions. Right now, he has 7 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And he has to carry them if they're going to make the play out. Trudeau under pressure. Knocked away. Great play at the last minute by Eric McMillan. Brilliant athletic move Otherwise, Risen has it in stride for a touchdown, and there is a flag down on the play to boot.
And McMillan simply tells all the defensive backs, I will cover for you. Go ahead and be aggressive.
Face mask, number 55 defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Alex Gordon called for the face mask penalty. He was the one who was putting pressure on Jack Trudeau.
And he has not had a good year. Matter of fact, none of the guys that I think the Jets have counted on up front have had very good years. Alex Gordon is one of the veterans. Marty Lyons not having a great year. Mercereau, his has, been so-so. Just haven't had it up front.
1st and 5 after the penalty. Dickerson chased from behind and caught by Paul Fraze. That's the second time he's been able to trail a blocker and use his speed to make the tackle.
As soon as Hinton or Call take off, either one of the tackles on that counter move, he just hums right in their hip pocket, and he's gone. He just stays right with them. And Dickerson is so deep in the backfield that by the time the movement is made, the guards and tackles get out in front, Fraze is right there.
The only way you can do anything with Hinton is run behind him. If you're in front of him, you get slaughtered.
Can't see anything either.
2nd and 5. They'll run Hinton's way. This time Dickerson cuts it back. McMillan again gets the stiff arm, drives him out of bounds. Dickerson with a tremendous upper body strength. But boy, can McMillan close.
McMillan is a bona fide All-Pro. He's going to be an All-Pro as long as he wants to be in the league. Watch this change of direction, though. Dickerson, remember, we talked about the backside, so very important. There you see him take off past Benson. Stallworth doesn't stand a chance. Watch the stiff arm, though. Right on the shoulder and the side of the head. McMillan tries to tackle him, can't get a hand on him.
1st and 10, Colts at their own 49.
See McMillan flow? Now look at him come back. There's 2 All-Pros, one-on-one.
McMillan made the Pro Bowl last year as a rookie, the first rookie to do it since Emerson Boozer in '66. Fraze again, with help from Marty Lyons, they'll bring Dickerson down this time at the line of scrimmage.
Here's a guy who's playing really well. Paul Fraze out of Syracuse. Only about 265 on the end. You'll see him make the move right upfield. Does a good job on Ben Hutt. Good spin move. Little spinner. Likes those little spinners inside. The spinners work inside because that's where the running back is. You try that spinner outside, you wind up away from everybody.
2nd and 9 with 9.5 minutes to go. 3rd quarter of play. Colts with a 20-3 lead, bidding for more. 4-man rush. Trudeau finally under some pressure. Deep for Verdun. Verdun to the 3. Trudeau has been sensational. That one was for 48 yards.
What he's doing is so well is he's hanging the ball up in the air and letting the speed of Risen and Verdun just go get it. We'll see how the height of that ball is. Now, that's not a real tight spot, but it's up in the air. It's up high enough, and they're just perfectly thrown passes. He's hit both the long ones in stride. There it is. Look at how it comes. See how it falls out of the sky? That's the way you got to throw the ball down the field.
Bobby Humphrey only a step away, but that was enough. Trudeau fumbled the handoff, but the play will be blown dead. Once again, they were going to go to Bentley, the short man. Linebackers have gotten so good at jumping over the line at the same time the tailback does on those dive plays, and I think it's a great idea to give it to the short man. The linebackers don't have time to react to it.
Absolutely right.
Here's the call.
Illegal snap prior to the snap, number 53 offense, still first down.
Must mean Ray Donaldson moved the ball.
He did it the first play of the game, and here he goes again. Watch, a little hesitation. Ah, wait, hold. Timeout. No, sorry, Ray. Once it moves, you got to bring it up all the way. Jack's going, whoa, where is it?
There's clearance for Dan, who just caught the nearly 50-yard bomb.
ESPN, you know why? Because he almost talks as much as Chris Berman. But he does talk as fast.
First and goal from the 7. Trudeau under some pressure. Caught at the goal line by Rison.
There's the flag from Humphrey.
Oh, Humphrey got his 2 cents worth in.
Well, he bumped in. It's one thing to do it verbally. It's another thing to bump into the referees. They're just not going to tolerate it. Now, oddly enough, in this case, you can't move it much closer to the goal line, so it's not going to matter.
A 2-inch penalty.
Yeah, about it. Could be the shortest one in history.
Question is, if they review it upstairs, if it's not a catch, the penalty will stand anyhow. You just can't lose your cool.
No, I mean, you know, you can disagree, but still.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 48 defense. Number 48 has been disqualified from the game.
Oh, that's baloney. That's garbage. I mean, unless he said something really bad. But he barely touched him. There's a fake inside, a fake outside. Now Trudeau turns upfield, does a good job. Here comes the replay. Yep, it's a good catch. It's a good catch. It's a good catch. Rison was inbounds, but unless see, watch this right here. Look at that. Now they just, you know, he touches him and they disqualify him from the game. That's wrong. I'm sorry. That is absolutely wrong. I mean, they had a brawl out there on the field in the first quarter, and they don't even throw a penalty.
No penalties.
Now he bumps into him. That's a bad call.
You can't touch an official.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the guy bumps into him. He's heated, right? It's not like he pushed him with his hands. He just bumped him. I don't agree with it. I think it was wrong what he did, but it does not warrant being thrown out of a football game. I'm sorry.
Apparently, they are still reviewing the play, and Humphrey is taking his sweet time coming off the field. The catch at the 1-inch line, and I honestly couldn't tell from the replay whether Rison got both feet down or not, but Humphrey going to the locker room, accompanied by a chorus of boos from the 60,000 partial crowd.
Well, if it's not conclusive, they can't reverse it, so play stands as called. There goes Humphrey on his way to the showers, and you know, it's just frustration. But you can't let it your emotions run wild. I still don't agree with the objection. I mean, nothing.
You lose your cool, you hurt your team. First and goal from an inch away. Dickerson and Ivy Joe Hunter in the backfield. Dickerson. Touchdown. And this one's starting to get out of control at 26-3.
His 5th rushing touchdown. This is just power. You cannot stop Eric Dickerson if you hit him high. Hasty tries to take him up around the shoulder pads. It's not going to happen. He drags him into the end zone.
Biasucci will come on for the point after, and there you see Dickerson, 83 career touchdowns. He has been a marvel. Start to hold. Biasucci converts. And we've got a fight.
Pat Beach and Eric McMillan going at it. That's one of the toughest things when you're in field goals and extra points. You know, one team's frustrated, the other team's just standing there. Maybe a guy reaches out and gives you a hand someplace, and you don't like it, so you get upset.
McMillan was going for the block and thought Beach held him and was upset after it. Joe Walton just upset. His team is down 27-3.
C-SPAN, the cable satellite public affairs network. This year, C-SPAN celebrates a decade as a public service of the cable television industry. 10 years of providing direct access to American government in action. We're proud of cable's contribution to the democratic process. Public affairs programming that matters to you. Only on C-SPAN.
Autumn means different things to different people. To some, it means back to school. So the Weather Channel brings back the school day forecast with the day's weather as well as advice on how to best prepare your family for the elements. To others, fall means a chance to take in all of nature's beauty. So on the Fall Foliage Report, we show you where the best spots are to view fall's changing colors. And on the Winter Weather Update, we bring you up to date on current and forecast weather problems during the cold weather season. For the weather you need when you need it, tune to the Weather Channel and don't miss our fall season.
The networks want you for your ratings. The advertisers want you for your disposable income. And the politicians want you for your vote. Why not watch television for yourself for a change? The Learning Channel. Business, career, how-to, college prep. It's part of your life. It's part of the Learning Channel. The Learning Channel. Television you can use.
This is what the problem was. That's Pat Beach, and this is Eric McMillan going to come in. He gets his forearm right up in McMillan's face. As the ball is snapped, Beach sets inside. Now watch the left forearm. Watch it right there. Stop it. Right up in that little square. Nobody likes to get hit in the face, and that's what caused it. Now, Eisenhuth pushes him from behind, but by then McMillan's upset anyway, so it doesn't matter. He just goes after Beach.
Townsell and Philip Epps are deep. Epps pinned in the corner, trying to bring it all the way back across, and has no success, buried at the 13-yard line. John Brandis on special teams, and the scoring drive again. 72 yards, extremely impressive by the Colts, and Dickerson capped it from 1 yard out.
Of course, that one's set up by the big reception by Clarence Verdun. There's Eric's numbers, 84 yards. He just sneaks up. See, the thing is here's a case of them getting Eric Dickerson the football. He can control the pace of a football game all by himself. Trudeau making the conversions, Dickerson running the football. That's the story of the Indianapolis Colts on offense.
And there's a guy who would like to carry it 30 times a game every game. Pat Ryan needing to go to the air to produce something too high for Johnny Hector, who was buried by Jeff Harrod. Excuse me, Kenny O'Brien. Another Jets quarterback, Tony Eason, who had to think about it for a week.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to go because his friend, he would be competing against his friend. I mean, we're all friends. I got a lot of friends in football. But, I mean, you're talking about a job, and it's all good, clean competition, and you let it go where it goes. He's staying with Kenny now, so, they're still good friends, and he's still a part of the Jets.
O'Brien dumps it to Hector. Nothing but Colts waiting for him at the 20-yard line. Good effort by Hector to get that much out of it. Cliff Odom in on the stop. Odom playing a lot tonight because Fred Young suffering from a neck burner. Pretty good set of linebackers for the Colts.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 of them in the Pro Bowl. I mean,
and Harrod will be.
And he should be, you're right.
The Jets have had terrible field position all year long. Starting at their own 20, 54 times.
Well, you just can't go 80 yards every time lining up.
Pickett comes on the blitz. They'll blow the play dead.
False start prior to the snap. Number 79 offense. Still third down.
Watch Kenny O'Brien's right leg. Now that is, see, well, we didn't see it. But what he does, let me tell you what he does anyway, even though we didn't see it. He lifts his leg up. Now, in dome stadiums, it's hard to communicate with your center. So the center looks through his legs. O'Brien lifts his leg up. The center waits 1 count, then snaps the ball.
3rd and 8. O'Brien to Toon, and Toon ducks under a tackle.
And he's short of the first down.
About a yard shy, it appears.
What's the sense in running hook patterns if you're coming up a yard short? You got to find where you are in a football field. Gosh.
Now they will bring in the chains from the sideline to measure, but where they spot it, it looks like he's at least a yard shy.
He ain't even close. I mean, they're bringing the chains in because somebody has to, I guess, if you can go take a little break now, go grab something from the refrigerator. Because that's just a refrigerator break. That's what this measurement is.
Harvey Armstrong, the nose man, comes up limping on the play.
Look at how far he is away. It's a good 3 inches. What do? Do you go for it, Mike?
No, I don't think so.
You kick it. I guess not. I mean, the success that the Jets have had on 3rd down.
Which is no success at all.
Yeah. Really.
Prokop to punt. Verdun is deep.
Both punters in this game, Prokop and Stark, were both decathletes. Incredible athletes. This guy here, look at the legs. That's not pads, that's his thighs.
Almost blocked. And it takes a Colts bounce down to outside the 40-yard line. A 33-yard kick. Michael Ball nearly blocked the kick. There's a flag down at the 45-yard line.
They're going at it again. That's Kerry Glenn, number 35, on the Jets. They're mixed it up. They get a little grabbing each other's helmets and face masks. And he's got that club on his hand anyway.
15. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, face mask, number 35 kicking team after the ball was dead. First down.
That's Kerry Glenn, so the Jets give up 15 more yards on the penalty. And we have a timeout with 5:51 to go, third quarter. It's all Colts, 27-3.
Thank you. And so, Mayor, these swiftly flowing currents create energy, which in turn creates power, which in turn brings electric light to every house in the valley.
That's very impressive, Calvin. Thank you, sir. But the contract calls for bringing Bud Light to the valley.
No wonder we're over budget.
For clean, fresh taste, one light outshines them all.
Which in turn keeps the Bud Light cold.
Because everything else is just a light.
In the realm of expensive motor cars, no amount of leather, wood, or paint, no matter how refined, no matter how polished, can distinguish one from another. In the end, what matters is the car beneath the luxury. And never before has anyone built a car that performs quite like the BMW 7 Series. Not even BMW.
He who brings me the kingdom's most valuable object shall marry my daughter.
Sire, I slayed 2 dragons for the kingdom's most valuable object.
Next.
I swam crocodile-infested waters for this.
Next.
Sire, I didn't slay any dragons, but look, the Sony Trinitron XBR, incredible picture, amazing SRS stereo sound. Nothing's more valuable.
Bingo!
The Sony Trinitron XBR TV. Every castle should have one.
The network that brings you Sunday Night NFL gives you another reason to cheer, beginning in 1990. Season-long coverage of Major League Baseball on ESPN.
Major League Baseball comes your way next year on ESPN 1990, not that far away.
That's right, the crack of the bat on ESPN. We can't wait. The crack of the metal, actually.
No. Still wood.
Still a little bit of wood. That's
27-3. Colts with the ball at the Jets' 40 after the 15-yard face mask penalty. Dickerson trying to get to 100 yards for the first time as a Colt against the New York Jets. More pushing and shoving after the play. Another flag is down. Kerry Glenn again.
And Mark Boyer, number 84 for the Colts. I mean, they chased each other all over the field.
And Kerry Glenn is going to be out of the ballgame if he doesn't watch it.
That's what they're doing.
A fighting souvenir. Perfect for this one.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 84 offense. It's a continuous action foul. 15 yards from the dead ball spot. Still first down.
You know what Jerry Seaman ought to do right now, Mike? Is he ought to get the offensive captain together and the defensive captain together and say, listen, guys, enough of this stuff. Let's play football. There they are. There's Boyer's. It's all, you shove. Kerry's only got one hand, so he can't push back very hard. Now he tries a little inside action.
Called a continuous action foul, which means the play counts. So we go back to the 50-yard line.
Call them together, let them settle down, and just, you know, tell them to play. Still first down, but now they got a mile and a half to go.
Trudeau, short, the crowd wanted a flag, and they get it.
No.
I think that ball was tipped.
At the line of scrimmage, absolutely not. The referee makes a good call. I mean, he makes the right call, but the fact is they'll come over and tell him it was tipped. There'll be no flag.
Lageman raced downfield to say, hey, it was tipped.
Like the Jets are saying, what else can happen to us?
There is no defensive pass interference on the play. The ball was tipped. We have an incomplete pass, second down.
Right at the line of scrimmage, there you see. The hand goes up. Kyle Clifton manages to just get a piece of it before it gets on to Billy Brooks.
And all bets are off. Kerry Glenn on the coverage with Brooks.
Nice
job
job.
Consulting with each other.
Nice job by the refereeing crew.
5:11 to go, third quarter, 2nd and 20. Colts at midfield. Dickerson, gaping hole up the middle. Radachowski brought him down at the 40. More college football coming your way. Have a late Thanksgiving dinner with us. West Virginia against Syracuse from the Dome. And then Bino, Bob, and Lee will come along on Saturday, game day, 11:30 Eastern. Then at 3:30 Eastern, we have Tennessee and Kentucky. Been a great year for Tennessee. That's at 3:30 Eastern on Saturday afternoon.
Does Major win the Heisman, Mike?
I hope so. I think he's the best player in the country. Thanks for the question.
Hey, no problem.
3rd and 9. Trudeau completes to Brooks, and then he couldn't hold it. Nice play by Glenn. Shook it loose.
Boy, Kerry Glenn's just been involved in hitting everybody in the last 4 or 5 plays. He doesn't care whether they're tight ends, tackles, or anybody else. Now, Trudeau just doesn't get enough juice on this one. The ball hangs up for Billy Brooks. He tries to do the best he can to hold on. Now, what they would consider possession is when his feet come down to the ground. Just because he had it in the air does not constitute possession.
With 4:21 to go in the third quarter, the Colts will punt for the first time. Ron Stark, one of the best kickers around.
There are 2 lefties in the game tonight.
And Townsend waits at the 10. Stark trying to hang it up. Townsend will take it to the 5. Doesn't have a single blocker back with him. He's buried at the 8. Townsend trying to make something happen. Didn't get a lot of help. A 4-yard return after a punt of 33. 27-3 Colts over the Jets.
You can teach your kids the fun of basketball, from the right techniques to the right attitude, with the help of a great coach and ESPN home video. Legendary UCLA basketball coach John Wooden shows you how to teach your kids all the basics, plus the importance of mental attitude to build confidence and the enjoyment of the game. A free phone call gets you started.
Bend your knees. Relax. Don't stand stiff. Be loose. Be loose. Have those hands moving.
Teaching Kids Basketball is just one of the many Teaching Kids videos available from ESPN, all featuring proven methods from famous coaches. To order Teaching Kids Basketball for just $29.95, call 1-800-841-8900. Ask the operator about our other Teaching Kids videos and save $5 when you order 2. You'll also receive a free ESPN home video catalog. Teaching Kids Sports is child's play with ESPN home video.
At TNT, you'll find the good stuff all day long.
This is Bart Baxter, one of 6 Indianapolis cheerleaders who work with the hearing impaired, and they know sign language. And they are now communicating with anyone who is hearing impaired in our audience, and she just said, we love the Colts.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye. Catch you later.
Jets take over again in miserable field position at their own 9-yard line.
7 out of 8 possessions inside the 25. Not an enviable position to start for the quarterback, believe me.
O'Brien, play action, goes out to Toon. He dives forward to the 15-yard line and out of bounds.
13-22.
Tell you what, there are some strange-looking folks in the audience tonight.
I mean, there's not a lot of things. There must be not a lot to do. Look at this. Look at this. These guys. Holy mackerel.
It's Sven and Sven.
Guy lost his chin guard or face mask. Either one of the two. Look at that. Al Toon, 5 catches, 41 yards tonight.
2nd and 4. O'Brien play action again. Goes deep. Townsell bumped just before the ball got there, right with him. John Baylor. No flag.
Kenny Ayers just went out. The Jets looking for some kind of a big play. They haven't had one all night. Boy, he's got a lot of room to play with, though. John Baylor's just not going to give him a chance to run by him. Baylor has the opportunity to turn for the ball, and Townsell can't make the play. JoJo might have a shot at the little incidental contact, but can't quite get it into his possession.
Kenny O'Brien, 13 out of 23, 133 yards for the game, and now the Jets face 3rd and 4. O'Brien over the middle, and they've got a first down. Al Toon at the 20-yard line. Harrod really upset, but he couldn't stop it, and Banks comes up holding his shoulder. Here's the scoring summary for the ball game. Biasucci started it off from 45 yards to give the Colts a 3-0 lead. Then Albert Bentley went in from a yard out. That made it 10-0. Leahy came back for the Jets with a 46-yard field goal. That's as close as they would get it, 10-3. Trudeau on a nice play-action play on 1st and goal from the 1. Hit Beach for the touchdown. Biasucci came through with another field goal. And then Eric Dickerson capped off the scoring with a 1-yard run to make it 27-3. Banks is out of the ballgame. Quintus McDonald in at linebacker for Indianapolis. O'Brien forced to scramble. Has time, throws complete to Wesley Walker at the Colt 49.
Nice job by Kenny O'Brien buying some time. Offensive line gives him a chance to move around. There you see the pocket collapse. Big rush by John Hand right up the middle again. O'Brien, not a runner. He's not going to run anywhere. 8 rushes this year for a total of 18 yards. Veteran receiver Wesley Walker sees his quarterback in trouble and works back towards him to give him a throwing lane.
The Jets have allowed 40 sacks this year, and this their 11th game, but they've done a pretty good job tonight in protecting O'Brien.
Well, you got a guy who just doesn't move. I mean, everybody on defense knows where Ken O'Brien's basically going to be, so it's tough on the offensive line.
Johnny Hector gets about 5. Banks, who came out a couple of plays ago, on the sideline. Chargers wanted him to stay in rehabilitation till the end of the season, then try to play next year. Banks very anxious to get back on the football field. And the Colts admitted they were rolling the dice when they picked him up from San Diego.
Well, he certainly has played well. It's given him that stability, that strong side linebacker.
O'Brien under some pressure, had it tipped, still caught and then dropped by Townsell at the 31. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. A little tougher to catch when it comes end over end.
Well, you know, you saw how much, even by the scramble, you saw how much time Kenny O'Brien bought himself by running around. Here he's in the pocket again. And now, like, what happens is if the lineman can't rush, they just jump up and knock the ball down. That was Cliff Odom. I mean, that's all they're going to do is they're going to, you know, they see the quarterback look one direction. They know he's not a scrambler, so they take a position about 5 or 6 yards away. And these guys all jump up in the sky. Although he's only 6'2", he gets up in the air pretty good.
Jets facing a 3rd and 6. They've converted 4 out of 9 third downs tonight. All-out blitz. O'Brien with time over the middle. Complete. Newbert, the tight end, dragging a tackler with him down to the 31-yard line. Ball had him, but was getting a free ride for about 4 yards. Newbert at 248, 6'6". Kenny O'Brien comes up a little gingerly after that last one.
This is the price you pay. He's right in the pocket, stands right in, and takes one heck of a shot from the side. Oh, boy, Jeff Herrod just absolutely laid him out from the right side.
They want a screen, and A.B. Brown dropped it. And really not a bad idea that he dropped it. He was in front of the three blockers in the screen, one of whom was on the ground.
Well, it almost makes you wonder if it was actually a screen. I mean, are they not doing that big a job up front? There's supposed to be a 1-1,000, 2-1,000 count, but here it looks like a jailbreak. There comes Armstrong in. I want to tell you something. You can't make me for 1 second believe Ken O'Brien is not one tough cookie.
2nd and 10 for the Jets. Play action fake to Hector. O'Brien deep over the middle. Nobody there except for Mike Pryor, who intercepts.
He may be tough, but he didn't make a good decision on that one.
No, he didn't. Pryor gets his 3rd interception of the year, the former replacement player, and with 2 of the Colts corners, one out with an injury, one out with a virus, the secondary's done a great job.
They really have. You wouldn't think that they've missed a beat. Goods out, Daniels out, Pryor just filling in, doing his job. O'Brien's got a lot of time. Here, you get into a situation where you think your arm is stronger than it is, and it's really not. This one just hangs up in the end zone. Would have been way short of the receiver anyway.
And
Who was
Pryor's
Wesley
smart enough
Walker?
to down in
He
the end
winds up,
zone.
yeah, I mean, he just now they have the ball in the 20. Didn't try and run it out.
59 seconds to go, 3rd quarter, 27-3. That may have been the last gasp for the Jets. Dickerson, Fraze, who has had a fine game along the defensive line, pulls him down. Help from Alex Gordon. Fraze has been impressive against the run. There's Pryor on the sideline after his 3rd interception of the year. Kenny O'Brien and Pat Ryan on the sideline. You saw Eason earlier. He was in street clothes because he's on the inactive list tonight.
You know, it happens so often. When your team is struggling as a quarterback, you don't want to take the short ones. He knows he's got to get back in the game and get a score up quickly, so he makes a decision to put it down, and it blows it in your face.
Trudeau throws complete to his tight end, Beach. Juggling the ball, still had it at the 27-yard line. That will be the last play of the 3rd quarter, and the Indianapolis Colts in total control, trying to raise their record to 5-6 and stay in the playoff chase.
We used to have a chair, and my father used to come up from work every night, and he used to sit in this one chair, and all the change from his pockets would empty out into the chair. We would all go flying for that chair, and we'd take all the change and say, did it for years.
How many people ever broke their neck falling backwards in a chair,
How many fathers
honestly?
broke their kids' necks reading that?
If you fall out of a tree and break your neck, I'm going to kill you. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Levi's 100% cotton Dockers. If you're not wearing Dockers, you're just wearing pants.
In or out, in or out. That was a big one. My mother used to say that all the time. You're going to stay in, you're going to come out. Because you're going to let the air conditioning out. Yeah.
Today, 2 million business people will go out of town. Some of you will be carrying SkyTel's nationwide pagers with voicemail. You'll get information sooner and close deals faster. And the rest of you, lots of luck. SkyTel, that great communication system in the sky. For more information, call 1-800-456-all-threes.
She still didn't want me to play football. I mean, it was fine and dandy because she didn't even know what the football players made. When I told her I was going to try to buy a house, she was like, a house? You know, you make that kind of money enough to buy me a house?
good guy.
He makes the kind of money you can buy us all a house.
That's right, me too. Eric, I'm available. Hey, he's a good guy and a great football player. And the thing is a couple weeks ago, he said some things about, hey, everybody on this football team isn't playing, myself included. They were misinterpreted. Ron Myers even said he overreacted maybe a little bit, but that's what happens when you're losing. Everybody overreacts to everything.
Crowd enjoyed it tonight, leading 27-3 as we start the fourth quarter. Dickerson busts through a hole, this time across the 40 to the 45. Eric McMillan made the tackle after a gain of 18.
I guarantee he wanted to go the distance. He watches TV. He's seen Bo Jackson dance, and he says, hey, I've been here a while. Watch this. Straight up the gut. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Eric runs right at one tackle. Now watch him switch hands. Look at that. See how he switched the ball over to the other hand to protect it and then uses a straight arm.
Dickerson now with 900 yards rushing this season. First time as a Colt that he's rushed over 100 yards against the Jets. He has 119 and counting. Nothing that time.
Marty Lyons out there to meet him. Kyle Clifton put on the brakes and said, well, time to reload.
$120 yards now. His 56th 100-yard game. That's incredible.
You know what's more incredible, Mike, is you look at the average tonight, 4.8 yards a carry. That means every time he touches the ball, he's picking up half a first down for you.
He's had 4 100-yard games this year. His previous season low was 5 times. But he looks healthy again. Trudeau against the blitz for Rison. Almost made the spectacular catch. Right with him was James Hastings. Boy, has Trudeau thrown the ball well tonight. He has thrown it beautifully, Joe.
He just, he's putting the ball up. The thing that's so impressive, you see the height and trajectory he gets. It's almost out of the picture. As a matter of fact, it is. And here it comes back in. See how that baby turns over? He's giving his guys a shot to run it. Look at it. He's running all the way over to the sideline. He thought he threw that one home. Body English, It's like when you try and putt those 40-footers, which you never have. You have the 4-footers. I have the 40-footers. You wouldn't know about that. The body English helps out.
Third down, 10 for the Colts. Trudeau moves Dickerson. And then everybody else moves.
Well, what happened is Chris Hinton looked up at the 40-second clock, 45-second clock. He saw it go to 0, and then he figured, well, they got to snap it.
Now they just threw another flag after the play. This will be interesting. It appeared that Chris Hinton kicked one of the penalty flags.
Well,
now, if they penalize him for this...
Well, they threw a guy out of the game for bumping into an official. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, this was bumping into his flag.
Oh, okay.
We have a false start, number 75 offense. We also have unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking the flag, number 75 offense. There'll be a 5-yard penalty and then 15.
Yeah, come on. You hurt that Hinton, man. Hey, whoever does the laundry of those flags is upset because it's got probably a little black mark on it now and he won't be able to get it out.
We both watched a lot of football. I never saw a flag abuse penalty before.
No, I mean,
have you?
No, I mean, it just, you can take this thing so much. You got to use a little common sense. Guys are frustrated. Let them kick the flag for crying out loud. That's not losing control of a football game.
So they march it back to the 25.
Ron Myers says, what was that call? Kicking the flag? Oh, brother.
Please.
There it is. Look, I agree with you, Ron.
I do, too.
Kicking the flag. Come on.
That's the new one.
Chalk that one up. That'll be discussed at the owners' meeting.
Third and 30, they'll go to Dickerson on the draw. If I had third and 30, I'd give it to Dickerson, too.
Why not?
Colts will have to punt it away. Dickerson, 26 carries, 131 yards.
He said he wanted the football more, and he's got it. And the Colts are not a complicated formula. You got a guy who's a blue-chip back like that. You got to give him a chance to make plays for you. That's why they brought him here.
Jets show 10 men on the line of scrimmage as Townsend waits at his 15. Start to punt. Let's see if the Jets come.
What a great time for a play fake.
Stark got rid of it. Not much of a kick, and it takes a bounce back the other way, all the way back near the 40-yard line. A kick of only 24 after the bad bounce for Ron Stark. Timeout with 12:39 left.
There is a point at which all things must evolve. For small cars, that point is here. Introducing the Mazda Protege, a small car that's expansive in room, powerful, and born of Kansei engineering, so the way it feels will change the way you feel about small cars. The new Protege from Mazda.
It just feels right.
Miss Caitlin Phillips demonstrates the loading of the new Fuji Discovery 60 compact camera. As with most Fuji cameras, the Discovery 60 comes complete with autofocus, auto flash, and auto wind. And one more feature that you can't get on any other make's camera. Drop-in loading. So now you can load a roll of film faster than you can get it out of the box. Only Fuji cameras have drop-in loading. Fuji, a new way of seeing things.
I wanted to live in the Rocky Mountain region. 12 or 13 of us have played together now for 8 to 10 years. We just have a good time.
What Tom does is he doesn't care if we make mistakes. He doesn't get down on anybody.
A lot of these players depend on Tom Dater for their life insurance.
It's all teamwork. It's, no individual players.
He's been on their team for 10 years, and with New York Life for 18 years.
Why would I buy insurance from a stranger when I can buy it from the worst fullback in Boise?
New York Life, the company you keep.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By Fuji, makers of quality film and cameras. Fuji, a new way of seeing things. And by New York Life, the company you keep. With 12 minutes and 39 seconds to go from the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, it's the Colts over the Jets, 27-3, New York ball at its own 40-yard line. Bickett and Banks, both slightly injured for Indianapolis. They may not be back into the ball game. Al Toon forced out of bounds as he crossed midfield. Bickett with a sprained ankle and Banks with a pinched nerve in his right shoulder. And Banks is back into the ball game. I was just going to say, with a 27-3 lead, you would think maybe Banks wouldn't be playing, and now he'll come off the field.
Yeah, but guys are professionals. If they can play, they want to play. That's why, in a game like this, why do you leave your starter in? Because you just don't want it. You want to leave him out there. You don't want to disrupt his rhythm.
Hector with a huge hole up the middle. Gets to the 41-yard line. Banks, of course, his problems well documented, and now joining the ranks of people who have had just a legion of problems with drug abuse. Dexter Manley kicked out of the league. Of course, you can apply for reinstatement in a year, but you wonder if anybody's ever going to get back in, as O'Brien is sacked back past midfield.
Well, the thing about Dexter, what scares me, is when he was in the National Football League and I played with him, and he's an effervescent kid who made a bunch of mistakes. Not one, not two, but a bunch of mistakes. What scares me is as long as he played in the National Football League, there were some kind of restraints on him as far as not having to do substances. Now, all of a sudden, he has nothing to keep him from getting involved, possibly worse. I'm worried as a human being for Dexter Manley. I don't care if he never plays football again, and that's the stupidest question to ask somebody. Will you reinstate him in a year? Who cares? Let's talk about a human being being saved. He should never play again. Hopefully he'll be okay as a human being. That's what's most important.
John Hand being helped to his feet. We have a timeout with 12:13 to go from Indianapolis.
Pistol Pete Maravich earned his nickname with an NCAA record 44.2 points per game and went on to become an NBA scoring leader with over 15,000 points and a 24.2 average, earning him a place in the Basketball Hall of Fame and making him the greatest legend in basketball history. Pete's last contribution to the sport he loved was a series of 4 instructional videos that share all the secrets of his incredible success. ESPN is proud to offer this series, Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball. Each 40-minute videotape concentrates on one aspect of your game. game. From ball handling to passing, dribbling, and shooting, you'll get everything from the basics to the moves that made Pistol Pete a legend, including the drills you need to play like a pro. ESPN is offering Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball for just $29.95 for each tape, or $99.95 for the complete set of 4. Order now and get Maravich Memories the LSU years free. Call 1-800-544-1000 to put some Pistol Pete in your game. And don't forget to ask for the free ESPN Sports Video Catalog when you call.
We're giving you a choice at BET, the network to turn to for the shows you want to see. BET, we're giving you a choice. Reach out and take it. We're giving you a choice. Go ahead and make it. We're giving you a voice. You can't mistake it. We're giving you a choice at BET.
12:13 to go, and there's Dwayne Pickett on the sideline.
Wake up, Mike. Wake up. Just kidding there.
Yeah. 3rd and 12. Walker had 2 shots at it, couldn't come up with it.
Good coverage by Michael Ball. There's Wesley, runs a little out and up. Ball doesn't really bite. He's running with him. Now here's the ball. It's good coverage. Ball hits him, hits Ball in the shoulder. The ball hits Ball in the shoulder and just bounces away. Now the Jets are going to go for it on 4th down and 12.
Why not?
I agree.
11:55 to go. If you have any chance, you have to do something right now. And Joe Walton says, you know, it doesn't matter to me if it's 45-3. Let's try to get back in the game.
And again, Mike, you got to make the point in this game. The Colts lost both their starting corners to the flu and a hamstring injury, and they still managed to come back.
Al Toon with a great catch and then turns around and got the first down.
Unbelievable. You got to get the ball to your playmakers. Al Toon's a playmaker. This is all Al Toon. This ball is way high. You see the good coverage. John Baylor working on it now. He makes his move. Ball way inside. Goes up and gets it. Not only that, has presence of mind to know where the first down is. Protecting those sore ankles.
Sam Clancy, the former Pitt basketball player, wraps up O'Brien. Toon, 8 catches, 72 yards tonight. So the Jets maintain possession. Short pass to A.B. Brown. He has it at the 30-yard line. One of the great names in pro football, Weeb Eubank, who coached both of these franchises. Colts from 54 to 62, the Jets 63 to 73. Hurry up offense and hurry up. Jeff Herrod nails Kenny O'Brien. And as we saw Weeb Eubank, we can only think, and O'Brien is still down. Really was blasted from the side. We have bad news to pass on to you. One of Weeb Eubank and the Jets' great players of all time, Sherman Plunkett, the offensive lineman who played on the 58 and 59 Colts championship teams, died at the age of 56 at Mount Sinai Hospital yesterday in Baltimore, Maryland. He had suffered from cancer. And this is at a time when the Jets are trying to get a lot of former players together to form an alumni association. So if you're interested in that, you should contact the Jets. Here's that big hit.
And there's Kenny O'Brien just absolutely getting exposed. As soon as he lifts that arm up to throw, he's doesn't even have the faintest idea that Herrod is on his way. Just
Helmet in
nails
the upper ribs.
See him looking to his left. He gets it down just long enough. And you know something? That's a fumble.
It's fumble, too.
I mean, they're just, you know, Jeff Seaman just decided to do something nice for the New York Jets. That's a fumble.
4th sack of the game, and O'Brien is still down. Once again, and here's the problem that O'Brien has had tonight. Early, the Jets did a very good job of protecting him, but he's been pounded lately.
33 attempts. 24 times he's either had something lousy happen to him or he's been running for his life.
And Pat Ryan warming up, looking to his first action of the season. Once again, we would like to remind you on behalf of the Jets about their Alumni Association. They would like to start one, and they would like former players to contact them. So if you're interested in that, and good to see Kenny O'Brien up and be able to walk off by himself.
Get a hold of Frank Ramos regarding the alumni thing with the Jets. They care about the people that have played there, and they'd like to do something with it.
O'Brien, the numbers on him: 215 yards, 2 interceptions, and he has been tattooed, especially in the second half. And Pat Ryan, the 12-year veteran out of Tennessee, comes in. Both O'Brien and Ryan have had shoulder problems in the last couple of years, and both worked in the offseason to correct them.
This is no fun for Pat Ryan. I mean, you know, you're down by 24. There's 11 minutes to go in the game, and you know what you have to do, and so does the defense.
And it's 3rd and 11, and here comes the blitz. He unloads. Altoon makes the catch. Flagged out of bounds as he got to the 32-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th and about 6. Bruce Plummer took him out of bounds. Really don't have a lot of time to get warm, do you?
Not only don't you have time to get warm, but the thing is the guys across the line of scrimmage, the defensive line and linebackers, their hands are down, their butts are up in the air, they're in sprinter stances, and all they want to do is meet where you are. You know, I mean, and what the Colts are doing is they line up in a 4-man defensive front, but they're always bringing that 5th guy, and it's Herrard. And I'm telling you something, when he comes recklessly and relentlessly.
For the second time on this drive, the Jets will go on 4th down. Here comes the blitz. Ryan with time, almost picked off. Baylor had it in his hands. It would have been a touchdown. But the Jets will turn it over on downs anyway. John Baylor out of Southern Mississippi would have had his first interception.
You know, John Baylor is going to feel great right up until this point when they look at the films. He times this perfect. He absolutely times it dead letter perfect. Hits him right between the 3 and the 6, and he can't hold on. And I'll tell you something else. His teammates aren't going to let him forget it either.
No.
There was nobody to make the tackle. I mean, that hits him dead between the numbers. And then he just drops down to the turf in total frustration.
10:56 to go in the game. Colts now in total control at 27-3. Dickerson. Took a big hit from Paul Fraser, who's had an excellent game.
There's one guy that's played exceptionally well for the Jets tonight. It's been Paul Fraser.
McMillan has been in on his share of hits too, but Fraser's been tough up front. Fraser's been in on 9 tackles tonight.
This is where the 45-second clock becomes a great amount of good fortune for the offense. I was looking for a word. I mean, you could have come in with some kind of word.
I couldn't
For the
think of
3 or
one.
4 people that are still watching this, that would have been interesting.
Out the throw. Rising tried to short hop it, couldn't come up with it.
You know what you're asking yourself? You're probably saying, why in this situation are the Colts continuing to try and throw the football? What the Colts are trying to do is they're trying to give Jack Trudeau an opportunity to work within the system, make the calls just like the game is nothing. There's no pressure on him. Now he gets a chance to drop back and execute and keep the rhythm for next week.
Is that why Dickerson is still in the game?
That's why Dickerson is still in. We used to get criticized when I was a quarterback in a blowout. Why are you still in? This is not college football where you put in your second team. These guys are out there. They earn the right to be number 1s. They want to keep on playing.
3rd and 9. Trudeau to throw again. Bentley with a great catch. The pass was low and behind him. He made the catch. Clifton and a couple of his teammates put the hit on him. He may be shy of the first down. But what a great effort.
Oh, and there's Jack Trudeau. Boy, you know, that's a smart thing by a quarterback. The guy makes a great catch. You walk up as soon as he shakes the cobwebs out a little bit and be the first face that he's going to see and just say, hey, listen, great catch. Thank you very much. This ball is thrown way outside low, and look at that grab. Just reached out and snatched that when they took a face full of helmet and got the first down on top of it.
Clifton just leveled him. And Bentley is one of those guys who they always say if he was with another team, he would be a star, a starter. I think he would too.
Absolutely. You know, before Eric Dickerson came here, Albert Bentley was the second leading total offense guy in the National Football League. I mean, he was their star. And he's taken on this role as sharing the backfield with Eric Dickerson. Great.
Flea flicker. Trudeau. Rison couldn't hold it. Now, this brings up the question. You're up 27-3. You say you're keeping your starters in there so you can run your normal offense. Why do you do this?
Joe Walton's sitting there saying, all right, Ron. Listen, you know something? We play you guys twice a year. This thing goes around and comes around. Rison just does the stutter step on Hasty, not figuring this is going to happen. This is when it just got away from him. That's a catchable ball. Very catchable ball. I mean, Jack Trudeau, again, puts the ball exactly where it belongs. Rison lets it get away, but still, this is the old throwback special. Got to figure Eric Dickerson's going to run with it. Trudeau hangs this one out. Now, that one's not put up in the air as high as the other ones were, but this is still a perfect throw.
I really find the call still a little hard to understand.
Yeah, I do. You know, that's the kind of call that it's not a respect call.
No.
But, you know, this has become a cutthroat, tough business.
Marty Lyons had to be helped off the field. He took a shot on the last play. And I think after that last call, the flea flicker up 27-3 with 9:32 to go, you may see some bigger hitting coming up.
Yeah, I'm going to back up a second, though. You got to remember what the Chicago Bears did today, though. You really do. This is the NFL, and lots of things can happen in a hurry.
Radachowski came up in a hurry to knock down Dickerson. Maybe I'm not out of line to say that the New York Jets are not going to be confused this year with the Chicago Bears.
No, I agree, but I'll tell you, you know, again, though, Mike, it's, you know, you got 9 minutes to go. We saw inside of 3 minutes, 3 quick touchdowns. Now, you say, well, it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. Don't look at me like I'm trying to justify this play. I'm not. I'm just telling you, I don't, you know, it doesn't endear, Meyer's not going to endear himself to Walton.
No.
But it still is a call within the parameters of the game.
Well, it was a nice explanation. I disagree with you.
I know. I'm not convinced. I convinced myself.
Third and long. Dickerson on the delay. And it will bring up a 4th down. Dennis Byrd made the tackle. Ken O'Brien, we're told, had the wind knocked out of him and bruised an elbow on the play where he was sacked.
He has had a lot of arm problems. He takes a long time to warm up. They held him out all through training camp this year, let him only work very sparingly. Then in the first week, he winds up breaking his toe and has to wear a metal plate on it. He has struggled, as have the Jets, through the entire 11 games of this season.
10-man front for the Jets. Start to punt. They can't get enough pressure on him. And a good kick this time to Townsell. All the way back to the 9. Got a good block. Across the 20 to the 21, and a late flag comes in. A 12-yard return after a punt of 47 by Ron Stark. And we'll check the call from Jerry Seaman.
There you see the illegal use of hands. What else is new?
The mandatory call on punts.
It's a kick, isn't it?
Illegal block during the return. Number 25, receiving team. First down.
And they'll take it all the way back to the 10-yard line. So the Jets will have to start 90 yards away from the goal line when we come back.
Now that you know what it feels like to move in the MX-6 Sports Coupe, come sit in the saddle. The MX-6 from Mazda.
Save up to $1,000 on a 1990 Mazda MX-6 now.
high school good?
And where does she come from?
Mr. Ian McKenzie. I'm Angus McKenzie. Ian's moved down the road.
Today, with service to 175 countries,
Oh, you'd be wanting Ian Alistair Mackenzie.
UPS delivers to nearly 4 billion people,
Also for McKenzie.
including the extraordinary concentration of Mackenzies along the northeast coast of Scotland.
Mr. Ian Alistair McKenzie. No trouble finding me, did you, lad?
No trouble at all. UPS, we run the tightest ship in the shipping business.
27-3 Colts over the Jets. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann with you from Indianapolis. And you asked me about Major Harris winning the Heisman Trophy earlier. You old Notre Dame grad, you. Are the Irish going to go undefeated? And how's Tony Rice going to do in the ballot?
Well, the Irish will go undefeated. Tony Rice has done a great job as far as his leadership goes. I think he's definitely a candidate for the Heisman Trophy. I wouldn't be surprised if either one of them won it, to be honest with you. I think Major's had an outstanding individual year.
Yes.
I think Tony's done a great job leading the Irish. I think Rocket Ismail probably could get as many votes. I mean, he's done that well. And will they win? Yeah, they'll win the national championship because Lou Holtz has got himself one great organization and one great football team.
Considering their schedule, whether they go undefeated or not, I think they're the best team in the country. Jeff from the 10. Hector. Middle of that Colts run defense has been a little bit soft tonight. That's where the Jets have had their most success. Jeff Harrod made that tackle. Sports Center coming up. You'll see highlights of the Packers' upset win over the 49ers, the Atlanta Journal 500, and everything that's going on in sports. Jets going with a hurry-up. They get the ball up to the 25-yard line, and Rick Pitino will be along with a one-on-one interview. Newbert made that catch.
Here's your hurry-up offense. You know, the one thing that concerned Bill Muir, the defensive coordinator of the Colts, was if the Jets lined up with all wide receivers with that suspect secondary here, but they've done a great job.
Taylor with the interception at the 42, the pass badly overthrown, and the Colts will get it back.
And that's a classic case. You got a quarterback who hasn't had a chance to work at all, and he's throwing it to Al Toon, who's only practiced sparingly all year. O'Brien wearing that glove on his right hand just because he can hit. You can just barely see it on his throwing hand. Now, that's a sticky glove. Doesn't have anything to do with the ball. It's thrown very well. Al Toon doesn't expect him to throw it inside. He expects him to throw it outside in the hooking area.
So with the third turnover, the Colts will take over, and Tom Ramsey gets a chance to come into the ballgame. He started last week, the forgotten man at New England, who has joined the Colts. Dickerson stays in. He gets the carry. Radachowski missed him. Fraze was over there to be in on the tackle with Dennis Byrd.
You know, when you look at you say to yourself, why is Eric Dickerson in the game? They only have 3 backs. Albert Bentley, Eric Dickerson, and Ivy Joe Hunter. I mean, they're the only ones that they have, the Colts, and there's numbers. That's an outstanding job. Jack Trudeau can look at himself in the mirror tomorrow morning and say, hey, they challenged me, and I met the challenge.
Said he had to be a leader and had to make the plays, and he did both tonight. Couldn't handle the snap from center, but falling on it at the 39, Ramsey may have gained a yard on the bad fumble, or bad snap that resulted in the fumble.
Wouldn't be surprised if he gains a yard. We saw Trudeau get the ball knocked out of his hand, gains 2. Ramsey gains 1. There are his numbers, 2 games, 13 completes, 30 attempts.
This will make the Colts 5-6 and realistically keep them very much in the thick of the playoff picture the way things are going in the AFC. The Jets will drop to 2-9, and of course it was over for a long time ago for the Jets. They've given up 434 yards in total offense tonight. Dickerson trying to change direction. Radachowski, the second time he's been able to come up from the secondary and make the tackle in the backfield on Eric Dickerson. Dickerson with 131 yards tonight, 56 times in his career, trailing only Jim Brown and Walter Payton. Well, Jim Brown, of course, had 8 rushing titles in the NFL. Dickerson, great as he is, has 4. Nobody is ever going to catch Jim Brown.
No, Jim Brown will stand alone in that category.
Stark on to punt on 4th and 13. Jets once again show a 10-man front. Can't get there, and Stark almost hit the roof with it. What a punt. And they'll down it at the 6-yard line. We have an overhang in front of our booth, and Ron Stark kicked it out of our sight.
It bounced off a light. I saw it. He's laughing about it. He knows how high he kicked it.
38-yard punt, 4:50 to go. And if you want to beat everybody to the punch, here's what your sports section will say in the morning. Herschel Walker ran back the opening kickoff, but the Vikings lost when they missed an extra point, 10-9. The Bucs upset the Bears, but Mike Tomczak was unbelievable in the last couple of minutes of that game. Kevin Butler tied Martin Mosley's field goal record. You're familiar with that one,
I am. I happen to hold for that one, and I want to send out my congratulations. Kevin Butler has never worked harder in an off-season in his life, and he has just done a fantastic job kicking, and Kevin, congratulations. A well-deserved record.
Johnny Hector picks up about 4 to the 9, and congratulations to the Packers, who improved their record to 6-5 with a big upset of the 49ers.
You know, the Bears lose, the Vikings lose, the Packers win, and that one's getting closer and closer. Who's gonna win the Central Division?
2 weeks we have the Bears and the Vikings on ESPN. Be a big game. Johnny Hector diving out to the 15-yard line. The results of the AFC playoff picture. This includes today's results. Buffalo and Miami at 7-4. Cleveland 7-3-1. They were tied today. And Denver 8-2 pending Monday night's game. On 3rd and about 2, Roger Vick gets outside.
Buffalo has beaten Miami twice this year, so that's where they have the advantage.
Here's the wild card picture. Houston 7-4. We've put Indianapolis at 5-6, 27-3 lead with 3:51 to go. I figure that's safe.
Well, way to go out on a limb, guys. That's the way to do it. Take a chance.
Roger Vick across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. First time in his career as a Colt, and only the 3rd time in his career that Eric Dickerson has gone over 100 yards against the New York Jets.
Yeah, they have
done a good job.
They always have done a good job against them, and tonight they dug their own holes. They tried to match them drive for drive, and when the interception was made early in the first quarter of the game, it sort of just took the air out of the Jets' balloon.
2nd and 2 for New York. Clock ticking down, 3:04 to go.
You saw Joe Walton there. The criticism and the rumors will start all over again starting tomorrow.
Vick makes the catch and is leveled by Kurt Larson, the rookie Michigan State linebacker. Here's what the Colts have to face to get into the playoffs, and not an easy schedule. San Diego at New England, then Cleveland and Miami, both here, and 2 divisional games in those 5, then at New Orleans to finish the season.
Well, the big thing is they'll play 4 of the 5 in domes, and 4 of those are actually, you see, 3 of the 5 left in, or 3 of the 4 left, 3 of the 5 left in domes, and they'll be here. And then the one they go down to is in New Orleans. So, and these guys love to play inside.
Do you think 9 and 7 will make the playoffs?
In the AFC, yes, I do. I don't think it'll happen in the NFC.
Vick trying to get outside. Got a block from Toon on the corner, picked up a couple of more to the 46. Ezra Johnson and Jeff Harrod made the tackle, and we're coming up on the 2-minute warning here in Indianapolis. The Hoosier Dome, half to 60% empty right now as people leave early to get a break on the traffic. 2 minutes to go, a 24-point lead.
Hey, Roy, they're really getting ready now. Hank, they're looking unbeatable. Well, remember, they still put their pants on one leg at a time. They got some amazing kids down there. We should see some terrific pattern and great coverage. Man, can they dish it out. Yep, time for them to suck it up. While keeping one eye on the clock. Oh, yeah, things will be heating up.
When you're talking football, you're talking Team NFL merchandise. Look for our label at fine stores near you.
We could be looking at a tie.
In a world of distractions and unexpected turns, a car should be like a friend you don't have to talk to. The Mazda 626 is engineered to feel just that way. with the ability to make you feel in control. At the same time, it makes you feel relaxed. The 626 from Mazda.
Save up to $1,000 on a 1990 Mazda 626 now.
Once, there were a few proud men of adventure, men of courage, men who knew the meaning of honor. There still are, the Marines. We're looking for a few good men.
I'm Bob Lee, SportsCenter right after the game. Soccer history for the USA, far from home. Bob Knight against the Soviet Union again. And our Sunday evening conversation, Rick Pitino with pointed comments about his departure from the Knicks. We'll see you right after the game. Mike and Joe?
Colts fans having a good time with a 27-3 lead and 2 minutes left. SportsCenter immediately follows our ball game here from Indianapolis. We'll bring you up to date on everything that's happened in the NFL this year. And there's the man who would have been the starting quarterback all year, Chris Chandler, injured reserve after week number 3. The 4th time in 4 years that the Colts selected starting quarterback has been injured.
He's ahead of his rehab schedule, according to the doctors.
Toon with a catch. Pays for it at the 49-yard line. Baylor came up and nailed it. Here's what's going on in the NFC. The Giants with a comfortable lead in the East. Minnesota now struggling a little bit. 7-4 in the Central. 49ers after losing today 9-2, and we'll show you the wild cards in a minute. That is really getting to be a race. Hector on the delay. Cuts it back. Johnny Hector running hard down to the 32-yard line. Here's the wild card in the NFC. Philadelphia and the Rams both 7-4. The Bears now 6-5 after today's loss. New Orleans 6-5. Green Bay and Washington to play tomorrow night. And New Orleans and the Rams will have that game for you on ESPN next Sunday night. The Redskins play tomorrow night trying to get to 6-5. Vick on the little swing pass. Larson brings him down at the 30-yard line. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. The Jets have called a timeout with 56 seconds to go.
That is to allow more people to get to their cars. That's all that is. There's Joe Walton talking over with Pat Ryan, trying to figure out some way to just have this thing be a positive note for him.
Jets have 3 of their last 5 games at home. They are 0-5 there this season, but it's tough to call Giant Stadium home for the Jets.
It's not. It's the only team in the National Football League that doesn't have a home stadium. There you see his numbers. After the first 10 games, 89 being disastrous for Joe Walton. So, you know, when you think about it, most of these guys, they practice and live in Long Island. They have to drive over to Giant Stadium to play football games, and then it takes all of them about 2.5, 3 hours to get home after a ball game. I mean, it's really a team without a home.
And it's not going to change. Their lease there runs for another 20 years.
And the legion that they have of Jet fans are in New York City. The the New Jersey fans basically have bought tickets to Giant Stadium because they can't get Giant tickets.
Ryan throws to Toon, who makes a grab at the 21. That'll be enough for a first down. The other question that everybody seems to kick around for the New York Jets is, are they going to hire a general manager? If so, when? Everybody seems to agree they need one.
Well, they do. I think everybody agrees with it, but, you know, obviously there's only one guy who's going to make that determination. It's not you and me.
Townsend to the 10. Clock continues to tick away. Jets just trying to get one on the board, and now they'll spend another timeout. Colts fans don't like it because they want to celebrate.
All 5 of them booed.
Coming up next week, 2 games on Thanksgiving. Cleveland at Detroit. And Detroit, very dangerous football team. Philadelphia and Dallas, and the Cowboys, since we had them with a win over the Redskins, have scared some people, but still losing.
They really should have beat Miami today, but Dan Marino hangs up the Hail Mary, and they wind up beating them 17-14.
Chicago at Washington, the big game in the NFC playoff picture. Cincinnati and Buffalo, another huge game in the AFC. Houston and Kansas City. Kansas City has been tough. And Minnesota and Green Bay at Milwaukee. The pack is back. Here's the rest of the schedule next week. New England and the Raiders. Pittsburgh and Miami. San Diego, Indianapolis. Seattle, Denver. And Denver just seems to do everything right so far this year. Tampa Bay, Phoenix, the Rams at New Orleans. You'll see that game Sunday night on ESPN. And then the Giants against the 49ers on Monday.
Got a great card next week. Got a great fight card next week.
Bunch of heavyweights. 24 seconds to go in the game. Ryan under pressure. Throws it away, almost complete to Roger Vick, but they'll blow it dead back at the 23-yard line. Kurt Larson got the sack. Sack number 5 for the Colts.
Talked to Donnell Thompson on Saturday. I said, how many sacks are you going to get against the Jets? He said, we're going to get at least 4.
Well, he was right.
He was right. There it was. They were right at 4.
Clock
and now
running.
they got 5.
Pat Ryan just looking up and says, what's the point? And they call timeout with 3 seconds to go.
No, I don't believe he's calling timeout.
Joe Walton to talk to Pat Ryan. It's one thing to play to the end, but down 27-3 with 3 seconds to go.
This was a mistake. I want to read tomorrow in the paper that this was a mistake. That's all I can tell you. Unless, you just got 3, you figure, what the heck? May as well use up something tonight. Couldn't have used any of my offensive plays, so let me use up the timeouts.
Bob Lee and Dan Patrick standing by with SportsCenter.
Great
and mercifully, in 3 seconds, this baby is over.
Yeah, we can all leave then. Oh, yeah, but on SportsCenter, you're going to see a fabulous interview with Rick Pitino. We might be able to get back to be able to watch it in time.
That's right. There won't be any traffic. Miserable night for Joe Walton and a wonderful night for Jack Trudeau.
Got ice on that little pinky of his.
Ryan goes for the end zone. Townsend, touchdown. Might as well finish it that way. And Bob Lee and Dan Patrick will have to stand by. We got a flag down on the play, and we'll have to go for an extra point. And John Baylor is down. Baylor gripping a knee. Remember, Baylor is in there because Chris Good was injured. Eugene Daniel, the other starting corner, had a virus. And this would be the 3rd out of 4 corners that they might lose.
Ryan hangs this one up. Townsend does a great job of coming back. It looks like Baylor just plants that. Oh, no. Townsend falls on it. That's what happens. It looks like he got it hyperextended back. Hopefully it is not serious. He just got it caught underneath JoJo's back. Well, once you catch your shoes on this stuff, and if somebody's on them, the only thing that can move are your knees or ankles or something else, because your shoe's certainly not going anywhere.
Baylor out of Southern Mississippi. He was on IR last year with a broken wrist.
Good position. It's obviously going to be interference out there. Now watch, right there. Townsend falls on his ankle and has his foot nailed down, and as he leans back, it seems like he twisted it.
And Baylor going off the field very gingerly. Well, that's really tough. Last play of the game, a meaningless play, and you come up hurt.
A nothing play. Absolute nothing play.
Which, when we go back to the fact, why do you play your starters in a blowout? I think it's a mistake.
Yeah, well, having been a player, you don't want to come in. This is when a game is fun. I got to be honest with you. When you're a starter and you've got a comfortable lead, that's when it's fun. The object is to kick the other guy's tail on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And if you're in a close game, it's back and forth. You get in a game like this, you can say, okay, I get to do it and have some fun doing it.
No time on the clock. Leahy will attempt the point after, and he's got it. And that puts an end to this one. The Indianapolis Colts have beaten the New York Jets 27-10. Joe Walton absorbs his 9th defeat of the season. Excuse me, the Indianapolis Colts go to 5-6. Once again, our final score. The Indianapolis Colts 27, the New York Jets 10. For Joe Theismann, this is Mike Patrick saying so long from the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Join us next week in New Orleans when the Saints will meet the Los Angeles Rams. Two teams fighting in the playoff picture in the NFC. Coming up next, the ESPN Sports Center. Let's join Bob Lee and Dan Patrick.